They thought we wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yo, Iman E, talk your talk. Facts, facts. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. So, truth hit harder when the system broke. Talk to 'em. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fear, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Let's go, let's go. See the cameras flash when the hearings start. Whole room shook when they spoke from the heart. Tryna cut me off, now I claim my time. Every interruption just exposed the crime. History long, but the memory longer. Pressure make diamonds, pressure make stronger. You can twist headlines, spin every bread. Can't rewrite facts when the truth been said. Everybody gangster behind that desk. To the numbers show the public been stressed. Families hurting while they paint pretty pictures. Meanwhile, pockets getting thin about a minute. Facts. Tell them stop capping quick gaslight games. People buy eggs with a pocket full of change. You can fake statistics on a PowerPoint slide, but the checkout line don't never lie. Who gon' speak? We will. Who gon' fight? All night. Who gon' stand when they kill our rights? We will, we will. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. Truth hit harder when the system broke. Let's ride, let's ride. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fair, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Courtrooms echo, but the streets hit louder. Every bad ruling made the movement prouder. Take one vote, then we register 10. Built from the block, let the people win. Can't silence voices born from struggle. Built these dreams through pain and hustle. Grandma marched so I could speak. Now I'm 10 toes down every single week. Every chapter got another revelation. People waking up across the nation. Ain't no crime without confrontation. Truth is the spark for transformation. Wake up, ain't about left, ain't about right. It's about wrong hiding under bright lights. Question everything, don't push your names. Power belongs to the people, not the fame. If they tell you hush, if they tell you wait, move now. If they tell you quit, if they shut one door, if they shut one door, build more doors. Look. Look, I don't need permission. I was born with a mission. Every generation got a choice. I'm choosing resistance. Feel like a weapon, mic like a torch. Truth keep burning till they let the hope pour. Kingdoms fall when the people unite. Darkness disappear when they turn on the light. Ain't chasing black, I'm chasing change. Every verse another broken chain. Break it, break it, break it. Every sister standing up. Every brother finding peace. Every time watching us. Learning courage, don't decrease it, multiplies. I can't move the seats. I ain't come to play. Truth don't fall when the headlines fade. Built for the pressure, built for the fight. We keep pushing to the future, look bright. Let's go. Hands to the sky, voices repeat. Justice ain't giving, you earn every seat. From the block to the ballot, from the mic to the street. We ain't leaving till the people complete their mission. The mission facts, the movement, stand up, no fear. We brought the receipts. Truth. Yeah, internet got everybody acting now. Everybody real till receipts pop out. Ooh. Whole time, half these wars got sponsorships attached. Facts. Ding. Came in humble, peeping vibes first. Everybody got a story who rehearsed worse. One live say villain, next string queen. Whole timeline living off clips and memes. Clock it, scratch. Screenshot, checkers, crop context, then turn pain into profit, monetize. Spinning if you say, let me hear both sides. Now they looking funny cause you think with your mind. Girl, bye. Whole sector built off selective outrage, fake tears, fake growth, fake healing stages. Everybody reach peace to the views, drop low, then another fake fallout for the next show. Whole time, fat. I don't move with minds, I observe first. Cause loud opinions don't decide what truth worth. Every villain ain't evil in disguise. Every angel ain't honest behind lies. Preach. I stand on business, not delusion. Half these friendships, strategic fusion. Views go up when the fake beef fly. Then they backstage laughing after live stream night. Facts. Stand on business, kitchen toast planted. Everybody tough when attention granted. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Truth don't switch, cause emotions online. Some people don't want peace, they want leverage. Your platform, your audience, your presence. Soon as you distance yourself and move wise. Now they online remixing history with lies. Funny how boundaries reveal folks quick. Toxic people panic when they losing their grip. 1 week, enemies next week, friends again. Y'all don't got drama, y'all got marketing plans. Clicks, downloads, chats, reaction views. Truth become optional when money involved too. Everybody scream real to reality sting. Then honesty suddenly offensive again. That part. I just see clearer now. Some people love chaos more than connection. Some people only loyal when they need protection. I stand on business, solid pressure. Can't buy integrity with views or extras. Everybody asking for digital consumption. Whole lot of chaos for online discussion. Stand on business, no pretending. Truth stay truth when the trending in. And I won't fall just to fit online. Cause truth don't pick sides. Truth survive. Truth survive. Survive. Truth survive. Survive. Truth survive. 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 A lot of these friendships transactional. A lot of this outrage profitable. Truth survive. Truth survive. Truth survive.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Golden. We're back, y'all, with another live. We're going to get into this part 2 of the live that we did yesterday. I guess we have a few things we have to address before we get into the content. So we'll explain how that's going to go in just a moment. But it's about 1:16 p.m. here Eastern time in the Carolinas. The weather is super hot. It's actually a scorcher outside. So, yeah, I'm kind of inside for today. But I hope you guys are having a great day in whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I hope your weather's good. I hope your energy is good. I hope everything is good. But we got a few things that we'll be discussing before we get into the meat and the potatoes of the live. I had a message that I want to bring to everybody here. Okay? So, this message will hit differently because it challenged one of the biggest addictions people don't talk about, the addiction to validation. Many of us were raised to believe love had to be earned. Good grades got praise, being quiet got acceptance, Being useful got attention. Keeping the peace got belonging. So we became adults, terrified of disappointing people. We apologize for things that aren't our fault. We over explain ourselves. We tolerate things we should walk away from. We fear rejection more than we fear losing our own self. And that's dangerous because eventually you become exhausted trying to be everything to everybody. You change your personality depending on who's in the room. You laugh while you're hurting. You shrink your dreams. You dim your light. You betray your intuition just to keep people around. I want to ask you a powerful question today. Who are you when nobody is clapping for you? Who are you when the comments stop? When the phone doesn't ring? When nobody says, well done? Can you sit with yourself and still know your worth? Because emotional independence isn't becoming cold. It isn't pretending you don't need people. It's knowing that if people disappoint you, misunderstand you, reject you, or leave you, your identity survives and you still remain whole. I want to remind y'all that some people only appreciate the version of you they can control. The minute you set boundaries, the minute you stop accepting their minimum treatment, the minute you protect your peace, suddenly you're difficult, you're different, you change. But growth often offends people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. Let them misunderstand. Not everybody deserves access to your inner world. Some people only ask questions so they can judge your answers. Some only stay close enough to monitor your growth. Some only notice your value after they've lost access to you. We also have to reframe loneliness. Society tells us being alone means failure, but there are married people who are lonely. People with hundreds of friends who feel unseen, people with thousands of followers who don't know themselves, because loneliness isn't always the absence of people. Sometimes it's disconnection from yourself. The cure isn't more attention, it's learning to become your own safe place. Speak kindly to yourself, celebrate your own progress, comfort yourself during difficult seasons, forgive yourself for the years you begged for acceptance, forgive yourself for ignoring red flags because being abandoned scared you, forgive yourself for settling for less than you deserve. You are surviving with what you do, not you know better. One of the most powerful truths is a diamond remains valuable even when nobody notices it. The ocean doesn't lose its power because nobody's watching the waves. The sun still shines behind the clouds, and your worth doesn't decrease because someone failed to recognize it. So stop chasing people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop forcing yourself into spaces that make your spirit heavy. Stop abandoning yourself to be chosen. Choose peace, choose dignity, choose healing, choose authenticity. And if you walk alone for a season, understand this. Solitude is not punishment. Sometimes solitude is preparation. Sometimes solitude is healing. Sometimes solitude is where you finally meet the strongest version of yourself. And once you discover that version of you, you stop fearing abandonment because you realize something powerful. You were enough all along. So, y'all, don't trade your inner peace for temporary validation. People will come and people will go, but the relationship you have with yourself follows you everywhere. So protect it, nurture it, and never let the world convince you that your worth depends on its approval. And so, y'all, after that, I'm going to go ahead and invite my lovely co-host, Imani, up. What is going on, girl? How you doing? How you feeling? How's the weather? And you have a few things you want to discuss as well before we get into the content. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Right. Well, how do I follow that? Thank you for that great introduction. Um, I think it's really, really key. It's a key message for people to understand. Today, I will say London is colder, rainier. Basically, we're having our normal weather. But for those interested in soccer, or as we call it, football, the World Cup starts today. And I think at 3 o'clock your time, which is 8 o'clock my time, the opening match between Mexico and I think South Africa kicks off. They kick off the start of the World Cup. So a lot of us will become football wives for the next few weeks while the World Cup's on, unless we're interested in football, which I am. So yeah, the World Cup's starting today. Um, Now, moving on swiftly to housekeeping. Before we get into the content, I want to address, and this will be my only time and final time addressing the Discord divas and the people who were performing social experiments in the Discord that I was a member of um, up until just recently, actually this year. Let's call it what it was. Someone actually said, and that person did contact me with one or both of her identities. Someone actually said they were performing a social experiment. Now, let me explain this social experiment to you. This social experiment was this person, and this is from me because this is my experience in the Discord. This is not Golden's experience, this is my experience, but I'm going to talk about it. This person came into the Discord as a black woman and a white woman, and she is a white woman. Then we had a husband and wife who the wife was a member of the Discord before. You all know who that is. And their husband, who decided once they had left the Discord, they would come in with several different identification IDs. And they also enlisted other people in their investigation. Let's call it investigation. Now, let's call it what it really was. It was deception. It was covert surveillance and a breach of trust because they did not have the permission of the owner of that Discord to conduct this social experiment and this investigation. A genuine social experiment requires ethics, consent, transparency, accountability, and oversight. And what is described here involved entering a Discord community under false identities, allegedly presenting as both one as a white woman and a black woman, secretly observing conversations, recording voice chats, taking screenshots, and only disclosing this recently, like a year later. That's one of them. One of the other things was investigating what was going on. The couple were taking screenshots, recording conversations, and publicizing them on YouTube. The first question has to be if this was, first of all, if the social experiment was truly about understanding bias, why was only one Discord targeted? Why this black male creator? Why his moderators? Why his supporters? Why not multiple communities, different demographics, and the same methodology? Research isn't selective, accountability isn't selective, but obsession often is. People join that Discord to laugh, to debate, to support a creator, and to build friendships. They didn't knowingly agree to become unpaid participants in some undercover investigation. They didn't consent to having their conversations recorded, archived, screenshot, scrutinized, and their words potentially turned into future content. And it becomes even more troubling if it wasn't just one person, it was many. If a husband and wife repeatedly entered the Discord and allegedly, and I say allegedly, recruited others to infiltrate it, recorded voice chats, collected screenshots, reported back, and repeatedly discussed it and used it as content on YouTube, and discussed the content creator publicly, many people stop seeing this as commentary and start seeing it as surveillance. Commentary responds to what people choose to make public. Surveillance enters spaces to gather information. There's a difference. The pattern matters. One disagreement is conflict. One screenshot is gossip. But months and months of monitoring the same creator, the same supporters, the same moderators, and the same community raises serious questions about motives. It creates fear. People begin asking, can I trust anyone in here? Will my comments end up on YouTube? Who's recording me? Am I being watched simply because I support this creator? Communities survive because of trust. Once that trust is broken, people withdraw. Was that the intent? They self-center. They leave. The racial context also matters here. It does not automatically prove racism. However, Black communities have historically experienced disproportionate surveillance, infiltration, and suspicion under the justification of finding the truth. When white individuals, and I'm only talking about the people that did this, I'm not talking about all the white people, because we have many great white supporters and many great supporters of different nationalities and different ethnicities. So I just want to make that clear. This is about the people that conducted this stuff within that Discord. Yes. So when white individuals selectively infiltrate one Black creators community while leaving countless others alone, people are entitled, like myself, to ask difficult questions. Why this space? Why this person? Why these people? Why this creator? The intent doesn't erase the impact. Even if someone believes they're exposing wrongdoing, the outcome can still be humiliation, fractured relationships, reputational harm, and emotional distress. Now let's talk about the legal questions. Joining a Discord or secretly joining it isn't automatically illegal. However, the legal picture changes when there are allegations of false identities, covert recordings, screenshots, recruitment of others, and the repeated targeting of the same people over a prolonged period. Recording laws differ depending on where people are located. For example, in the United States, some states require only one participant to consent to a recording, while others require everyone involved to consent. Location matters. In Ireland and the United Kingdom, GDPR and data protection laws may become relevant if identifiable individuals were recorded, archived, and later published without a lawful basis. Data protection issues may arise if usernames, Discord IDs, screenshots, voice recordings, and private conversations are stored and later distributed publicly. The law also looks into patterns of behavior. Not one disagreement, not one screenshot, but repeated monitoring, repeated publication, repeated targeting, repeated attempts to draw attention to the same individuals. Harassment legislation often focuses on what is known as a course of conduct. The same pattern can also raise concerns around stalking type behavior, following the same people, documenting their activities, collecting information about them, recruiting others to do the same, and discussing them repeatedly across platforms. One screenshot may be internet drama. Many collected over months tell a different story. Defamation concerns can arise if Discord material is later used to portray individuals as criminals, predators, scammers, or abusers without sufficient factual basis. Truth can be a defense, but selective editing, omission of context, and presenting allegation as established facts can create legal risk. And if multiple people work together to infiltrate the same community, gather material, coordinate narratives, and repeatedly target the same individuals, some jurisdictions recognize claims based on coordinated conduct. Discord itself prohibits targeted harassment and the non-consensual sharing of material, if not authorized by the correct people. Platform enforcement can include warnings, restrictions, suspensions, and bans. The important point about this is the law often asks whether a reasonable person would review the conduct as a repeated pattern designed to intimidate, distress, monitor, expose, or damage another person's reputation. One disagreement online is conflict. As I said, one screenshot is gossip. But if a husband and wife spent months infiltrating one creator's Discord, assuming false identities, it becomes larger than internet drama. So what I'm going to say is you need to be wary of what you're doing, because people are free to do what they want, but you're not always free of consequences of your behavior. Now, after this, after you've said what you may want to say, Golden, I've got a little story for these guys because I thought I would put it in a little story for them to make them understand and maybe make them laugh at themselves. I don't know what you think about this.
Well done, Imani. As always, things unfortunately on this platform are starting to become very legal. And I think you just broke down exactly the behaviors of individuals on this platform and some of the repercussions of their actions. And so, when we say what we say, we don't just say it for fun. We actually know what we're talking about. And I think people should tread very lightly and be very careful with how they are treating people and with how they are targeting people. That's one of the biggest things for me. After paying attention to what is really happening here, these are targets. And I don't understand why. We kind of have an idea of who sent you, but to target someone for what reason other than them being themselves, creating content that you can't also duplicate or do? It's very weird to be targeted for no reason, or targeted because somebody is just doesn't like you and their feelings and emotions, all of the things, right? Every action has a reaction. And some of these things that they are doing have legal consequences. And you cannot be upset and cry when those chickens come home to roost. So, well done, Imani, for breaking that down so excellently. And one of the things that I did see the few times when I did visit the Discord is you are an excellent storyteller. I really enjoy how you tell a story. And I remember saying, "Who is this?" Because I didn't know you at the time. And I said, "This is an excellent story." And it was fun. It was entertaining. It was also educational. So I think you have a story to bring to us before we get started in the rest of the content.
Yeah, it's just a little story. And I'd just like to say one of the things that happened when I was in the Discord was I became inspired by the people that were surrounding me, including the owner of the platform, to write stories and to make funny stories up. Um, uh, Truly, Ralph did inspire me to do things that I hadn't done for a long time. And one of them was story writing. And I like to say that people actually don't understand that a lot of us got a lot more than people think from being in that Discord. We would play music, we would talk about our families, we made friends in there, we had laughs in there, we would watch films, we would watch content as well. And a lot of the time, we were just left to our own devices. I cannot say, and I will not say, that I had the same experiences that some people seem to have had. But what I will say, there was no one in that Discord that was below the age of adulthood. And I didn't carry any child into that Discord. And if I hadn't liked being in that Discord, and many others who were there with me who didn't leave until last July, let's just be clear, they didn't leave until last July, enjoyed their time there. And they didn't have the experiences that were the same as others. Otherwise, grown people could have just clicked on the log out button because I didn't carry anybody in there that I needed to protect from anything. But I didn't see half of these stories and things that were happening. I saw a few arguments, saw a few disagreements, but I also saw a lot of talking, a lot of watching films, playing music, and having fun. So that's what I will say about my time in the Discord. Okay. And some
I,
of these stories that have been told are somewhat exaggerated. I am not going to put my mouth on anybody's stories, but I was present at certain times for certain things. And it didn't always go as has been said. And that's all I'm going to say about the Discord. Because if there were any serious criminal activity, these investigators would have made appropriate reports, both to the platform, to the police, or to whoever else they needed to make reports. But instead, a few of them have got their archive of recordings and decided to use it to build their channels and make content. And that is my opinion. And I said what I said, how I said it, because there were many people who did not leave until last July. And if it was so bad for all these other women, some of those women would have left or would have cried and said, this is what was happening. But some of the loudest voices, number one, have stated that nothing happened to them in there. That's why they were there until July 2025. Okay. And that's what I've got to say about that. But what I'll also say is I like to thank many people who I had good relationships in that Discord, as well as the owner of the Discord, Ralph, who inspired me to do stuff and to write stuff and to create the cartoons that I was creating. It was something that happened because of the encouragement I received whilst I was there. So here's just a little story about the curious case of Atlas and the accidental detective, or the Great YouTube Spy Society, and YouTube spelled YEW. Deep in the digital kingdom of YouTube lived a creator known as Atlas. Atlas spoke about spirituality, technology, life lessons, and occasional foolishness of mankind. His Discord was filled with ordinary folk. People discussed films, they played music, they swapped recipes, they argued over whether pineapple belonged on pizza. Someone was always asking, can somebody explain how Discord works? It was peaceful until one day enter Professor Patty Pecan of Texas. Patty wasn't employed by university. She had no ethics board, no clipboard, no grant funding, but she did have Wi-Fi and an idea. She said, I'm conducting a social experiment. What kind? Asked her neighbor. I'm going undercover in a Discord server. Several Discord servers are you going undercover in? No. Different communities? No. Then whose Discord? Patsy adjusted her cowboy hat. Atlas the Wise. Why, Patty? Patty blinked. I don't know. It just feels scientific. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in Ireland, a married couple named Seamus Screenshots and Bridget Bookmark had developed an entirely different hobby. Normal couples had date nights. They had file folders. One evening, Seamus announced, I've been observing Atlas's Discord. Bridget nearly dropped her tea. You too, she said. You've been in there as well? You mean to tell me we're independently spying on the same Discord? They stared at each other. What are the odds? Neither of them found this strange. Seamus had folders called Atlas Notes, Atlas Notes Revised, Atlas Notes Final, Atlas Notes Final, and Bridget had folders called Atlas Thoughts, Atlas Thoughts Updated, Atlas Thoughts for Real this time, while Patty in Texas had spreadsheets, columns, pie charts, color coding. She was documenting things such as subject said good morning, subject used crying and laughing emojis, subject doesn't like pineapple on pizza, potential significance unknown. Months passed. Atlas carried on discussing spirituality. People wished each other happy birthday. They sent each other messages of, of encouragement. Someone asked how to upload a profile picture. Someone shared a recipe for banana bread. Patty furiously typed, possible cult activity. Seamus took screenshot. Bridget adjusted her glasses. Did you hear Atlas say, take care of yourselves? Interesting. Very interesting, said Seamus. Christmas arrived. Patty's family asked, how's the experiment going? I've uncovered that people in Discords chat and laugh. In Ireland, Bridget's sister asked, "How's married life?" "Oh, wonderful. What have you two been doing together?" Bridget hesitated. Independent surveillance of the same American discord. Her sister slowly backed out of the room. Finally, after 6 months, Patty stood before the villagers. "I have a confession. It was a social experiment." The villagers blinked. Her grandmother raised her hand. "So let me understand this. You created fake identities?" "Yes." "You only did this in the Atlas Wise Discord?" "Yes." "You spent 6 months there?" "Yes." "You independently had two other Irish people also obsessively documenting the exact same Discord?" "Apparently." "And what exactly did everyone discover?" Patty opened her report. People in official findings, people in Discord communities talk. Moderators moderate. Subscribers subscribe. Atlas occasionally says wise things. Owl emojis are very popular. Pineapple pizza remains divisive. Nobody over the age of 40 should have folders called Final Final and revised Atlas notes. The villagers fell silent. Finally, old Nan stood up and said, "In that time, my Harold built a greenhouse. My cousin learned French. My neighbor joined a choir. But never, not once, did any of us think, you know what would enrich our lives? Spending 6 months pretending to be different people in one man's Discord while independently maintaining enough screenshots to qualify as a branch of the National Archives." Atlas the Wise simply shrugged. The truly wise know that peace is priceless. And somewhere in Texas, Patty closed spreadsheet number 47. Somewhere in Ireland, Seamus labeled a folder final, actual, final Atlas notes this time. Bridget created another called final, final. Because apparently, on the YouTube streets, enlightenment wasn't just a spiritual journey. Sometimes it was discovering that an awful lot of adults had entirely too much free time and excellent internet connections. So, the moral of the story is, if your social experiment lasts longer than most college courses, involves fake identities, focuses on one creator, and results in more screenshots than family photographs, it might not just be research. It might just be curiosity that forgot to mind its own damn business. That's it. That's all. And that's the end. And that is all I've got.
Excellent story. Excellent story. Um, this is the thing. Everybody has gifts and talents and things that they can bring to the table, right? And I think the goal is for us to really be able to uplift that, shine a light on that, and enjoy one another. Everybody has something that they're good at. And if we could all just get along and support one another and not, do salacious things, you actually can find that you can be with a group of people that you enjoy to be around. But when you come in, doing weird and odd things to gain access, it's not the way to go. Anyway, y'all, we do have to take a quick
Sorry,
song.
one more thing. I just wanted to say that was loosely based on a true story. Could be a Lifetime movie. Who knows?
You
You
never
have to
know.
wait and see what Atlas does with all the stuff he's got. But it was loosely based on a true story. And everything in there is alleged, just in case people want to get twisted about it. Okay?
You never know. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to take lemons and make lemonade. But we're going to take a quick song break, y'all. After the song break, I promise you, we're going to get right into the content. Remember yesterday, y'all, we heard a little bit from Maya over on Keke Palmer's podcast. And they were having an excellent conversation about self-love and, basically turning your life around, doing things differently, saying no, all of those type of things. We also heard a little bit from Ice Cube and Mike Epps sitting down at BigBoyTV, and we had some exciting news, right? That we're actually going to get another Friday movie, but they also had some really great wisdom and knowledge and gems to spill. And we'll add on to the end here a little bit of conversation from Dame Dash. He didn't really like what Jay-Z had to say in that freestyle, and he didn't hold back from sitting down on the Art of Dialogue podcast and talking a little bit about that. So we'll get into all of those things here in just a moment after this song break. Thank you all for joining us and rocking with us. We really appreciate it, each and every one of you, whether you engage in the chat or you just to sit back and listen. We appreciate all engagement. We will be right back after this song.
This for the people still surviving the pressure. Still reading between the lines. Still asking questions. Questions. Fair to the public, then market the cure. Turn pain into profit while the rich get secure. Whole system unstable, but they call it normal. Till the people get loud, now the headlines enormous. Hey. Rent high, checks low, food prices jumping. Kids in debt before adulthood coming, and they wonder why the whole generation disrupted. When the truth too ugly just to dress it up pretty. We don't trust the image, we study the pattern. Every speech sound polished, but the streets say it matter. If justice blind, why the poor feel targeted? Why the rich move reckless and avoid consequences? Look, they built districts crooked and called it political. Cut the school budgets down, but the prisons look beautiful. Every election cycle they rehearse being relatable, then disappear once the cameras ain't available. Healthcare, tied to jobs, now survival employment. Miss one paycheck and the whole life get destroyed quick. Student loans stacking while wages stay tiny. CEOs break records while the workers move blindly. And the media addicted to trauma statistics. Term suffering Bible for audience retention. Everybody screaming but nobody listening. Too much performance and not enough intervention. See, they weaponize language to soften the pressure. Call it economic gaps instead of strategic neglect. Call it urban decay instead of disinvestment. Then blame the community surviving the conditions. That's psychological warfare. Smile in your face while they cutting healthcare. Tell you pull yourself up while they moving the staircase. Whole system ganged up, everybody can see it now. And every time the people speak up, they say we divisive, but silence never changed nothing. They sell fear to the public, then market to cure. Turn pain into profit while the rich get secure. Whole system unstable, but they call it normal. Till the people get loud, now the headlines enormous. Hey, rent high, checks low, food prices jumping. Kids in debt before adulthood coming, and they wonder why the whole generation disruptive. When the truth too ugly just to dress it up pretty. Look. Lobbyists write laws while the voters feel powerless. Corporations from both sides for strategic advantages. That's why every debate feels staged and theatrical. Too many empty promises, packages practical. And they keep us distracted with culture wars daily, while billion-dollar contracts move quietly shady. Tax breaks for the wealthy, budget cuts for the needy. Then they ask why the public don't trust them completely. No accountability, only damage control. Everybody playing roles, but the cracks starting to show. Teachers overwhelmed, mental health overloaded. Young people burnt out before life even started. And the algorithm flood the timeline with division. Outrage get rewarded more than critical thinking. Truth moves slow, but propaganda move instantly. Now misinformation spreading professionally. But the people evolving, it's the part they fear. More educated every single year. Now communities talking economics and policy instead of letting politicians shape reality. Yeah. If freedom only work for certain demographics, that ain't freedom. If justice depend on your income bracket, that ain't justice. And if truth makes power uncomfortable, maybe power deserves questioning. We don't trust the image, we studied the pattern. Every speech sound polished, but the streets say it matter. If justice blind, white and poor feel targeted, while the rich move reckless, then avoid consequences. No fear in the dialogue, no silence in the struggle. We turn pain into pressure, and pressure in the muscle. Hands, eyes open, mind sharp, heart focused. It's more than music, it's documentation. History never changed because people stayed comfortable. It changed because somebody finally said, enough, 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 enough.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with us with that quick song break right there. We had a lovely, lovely intro from Imani, but she had a few things, to share and a wonderful story to tell. Very, very entertaining and very creative. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the content, but I do want to go ahead and say hello to everybody to 1-800 Brick City. Thank you so much for joining and coming in. Angie Green, thank you so much for joining and coming in. My baby Carlos is here listening in the back. And Star, thank you so much for coming over as well. Mama's listening from the back per usual. And y'all rocking with me and Imani. So let me go ahead and tell y'all what we're going to be playing. If you was here for yesterday's live, we're following up to that. But we're switching the, sequence around a little bit. So today we're going to start off with the Big Boy TV interview, following up on the massive news from Ice Cube and Mike Epps that completely set the internet on fire, y'all. They confirmed that the Last Friday movie script is real, and the Boondocks creator, Aaron McGruder, is in the writer's room. And they are bringing the culture together for a massive Every Day is Friday 2026 fan events. We're talking about true ownership and how our hood classics represent our actual history. After that, we got to go back over and tap into Y2K royalty, Maya, and her powerful masterclass on self-love, independence, and reinvention over on Keke Palmer's wonderful platform. From buying back her masters to many people talking about her decisions to marry herself in a private ceremony, she is showing us what it looks like to choose peace over public validation. And for a little bit of extra entertainment, y'all, we're going to decide to add in a little bit of Theme Dash to the mix for a master's class of the Titans. Dame has officially went on the Art of Dialogue, firing back at Jay-Z's viral Roots Picnic freestyle. Dame didn't hold a single thing back, critiquing Ho's new look, his lyrics, and bringing all that old Rockefeller history right back to the surface. It's a wild breakdown, and you already know we have thoughts. But let's not take up any more of y'all time. We thank you. Let's go ahead and just get right into this audio right here. So yes, this is Cube, Mike Epps, and Big Boy TV having a conversation pretty much wrapped around the Friday franchise, but they having some really powerful conversations as well with three healthy men that are showing you that we can bond together as a people, either gender, female and male. And that's what I love about both of these stories. It gives us an example of that, showing love, being proud for one another, boosting each other up. and also talking a little bit about the culture and how our culture is important. And we found ways to tell our stories ourselves. And so let's go ahead and get into this video, y'all. And of course, we will meet y'all in the chat.
coming back till like right before we start writing the script. So it was like he
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna run that back just a few seconds, maybe 1 minute total, because when it started, I didn't have it up on the screen. That's my bad. So we picking back up where we left off yesterday. So let me just run it back just a little bit because I noticed that y'all probably did not hear that. So here we go. Hold on. I apologize. I apologize. All right, here we go. Let's get into it.
Because this guy is funny. He don't need no stage.
But
He don't need no.
this is
no,
early Mike too, though, bro. Like when we look at it now, it's genius.
Yes.
But this is a Mike that we had a chance to see in some clubs.
Yeah.
But we hadn't seen Netflix specials. We hadn't seen big stand up. We hadn't seen film. We had nothing to compare Mike Epps to except the first script from Friday.
Yes.
And to abandon that and say, no, just be you. It sounds genius now, but at some point, Q, when you knew that Chris Tucker wasn't coming on and Smokey wasn't going to be there, what made you continue with the franchise though, as opposed to the one and done?
We was knee deep in it. I thought Chris was coming back till like right before we start writing the script. So it was like he's not coming back for real. Why? And then found out that was real. And so I knew, okay, if he's not back, we got to get off the block. We can't stay on this block because everybody's gonna be like, "Where's Smokey? Where's Smokey?" So I, having a story where Debo, gets out and he's looking for Craig, and Craig gotta, kind of run out to Rancho Cucamonga with his uncle and his crazy cousin. It just set up a new, just set up the franchise to continue without leaning on the brilliance of Chris Tucker.
Right.
But we can show now it's Pinky, now it's the Joker Brothers. Now it's more people involved with the Friday franchise. And to me, that's the brilliance of it. It's like bringing on these characters that fit the mold of the movie.
I remember, man, speaking of Rancho Cucamonga, right? People that know about the IE, we know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people started really going to like Riverside, Rancho Cucamonga. And I remember one of my partners, when he came out here to visit, he asked, could we take him to Rancho Cucamonga? Yeah.
How far
Didn't know nothing about Rancho Cucamonga, but he loved Next Friday.
Yeah.
So he was literally like, man, I gotta go to Rancho. So we did roll him out there, but it was just he had never heard of Rancho Cucamonga until he saw it on Friday.
I mean, it's a funny
Next
name
Friday.
for a city.
Yeah, man.
Cucamonga.
Hey, man, I remember J-Ro from the Licks. He got a line that sounded like Rancho Cucamonga, I'm way out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no doubt.
And that's real. So when we watch the franchise, and it's always been this question, Mike Epps, of when you guys gonna do it again? Yeah. When you guys gonna do it again?
Been hearing it forever.
I can imagine you have, bro.
Yeah.
What 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when somebody say, hell, damn near last year, when somebody say, "Are you guys do it again?" What was your answer?
I mean, knowing Cube, as a friend and as artists together in this business, I always knew that Cube was a guy that really, really loves his franchise
Mm-hmm.
and didn't abandon them, and that's one of them that I know for a fact that it's one of them forever. It's one of them, marathon type of franchises.
Mm-hmm.
So, I never told people that. I always said I don't know.
Right? Yeah, yeah. You told me that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I never said there'll never be one.
It's a thing where, like, if I couldn't do it right, why do it at all?
Right.
Like, why mess up the other movies if I can't do this next one right? And it was a situation where kept going back and forth with New Line, because they, started to say this is what the movie needs to be, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down.
You had to slow down a lot of people. Huh?
I know what the movie needs to be.
I remember Bootleg Kev tried to throw you an idea. You're like, we got it.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, no way could they take this franchise and tell us where to take it to the next level.
Right.
You gotta know what's going on, with the pulse of the people to know where to take this movie. It's not just a acting thing. You just go write a script that's funny. You got to write something that the people can really relate to,
mm-hmm.
And bring it up to date.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, unless we could do it right, we're not doing it at all. And we at a point now where we can do it right. And so here we are.
It's so many things from the Friday franchises. The Friday franchise.
Yeah.
It's Bye Felicia. You got knocked the fuck out. those are 10. What's that? Those are 10s,
not 20s.
Not 20. Yeah, yeah. That one.
Bevo Lottie.
Got more head than he got body.
Yeah.
Top flight security of the world.
Top flight security.
Yeah.
Oh, hey man, to
you
this
messing
day,
with my emotions. Who was that?
Yeah.
That was
if somebody is doing too much,
on.
they be like, oh man, that top flight security right there. Like there's so much that comes with it. And my son is 19. That's my oldest. My daughter's 17. She'll be 18. They know the franchise like I know the franchise. And they weren't even born.
Yeah.
But it's like this rite of passage that everyone had to watch Fridays.
It was
beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what me and DJ Pooh wanted when we first started. Like we need that hood classic, without a doubt. That's, as long as we get that,
yeah,
it's a success, regardless of what it did in the box office and all that. We was like, people got to look at this as a hood classic, and we got a notch on our belt if we can,
Yeah, that's one of his.
that.
That's one of many of his great talents, Ice Cube. That I have to say, when he created Friday After Next, he said, "Man, Mike, this gonna come on every Christmas, and I'll be damned every Christmas."
Amen.
All right, y'all. So I went ahead and just ran it back just a little bit for anybody who may be coming in to watch and did not see, yesterday when we played some, just to get a little bit of context of, some of the things that's being discussed within the interview. And I like that part right there because they were, basically telling you how this journey struck up again. And Ice Cube is giving his mindset. So brilliant, if you ask me, as far as what I think a lot of people feel, because we always want, like a part 2 or, a revamp of a show or a movie or another, sequel. But sometimes if it's not right and you can't do it right and it takes away from the beauty and the history of what was, then a lot of creators are scared to go in that one more time and do it again because it may not be as good as the rest. If you can do better than you did last time, that's the goal, to do better than you did last time, not make something where it's just like, you ain't really had to do that because that one wasn't hitting or nothing. So I like the fact that he talked about that because a lot of creators do feel that way and they move that way when they're making especially epic content. But let's go ahead and roll it up, y'all, because we did get a little bit further than that on yesterday's live. So we're going to go back to where we were and just pick up from there. So let me see. I believe it was right at this point. Hold on. And so much wisdom coming from all of these 3 men. This is what I like to hear. And the camaraderie of it all.
Anyone can,
Yeah.
even with AI that's here.
Yeah.
But I see what you do
Hold
on
on.
social media as well. You let us see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fans gonna do it anyway, though. What made
We like his part just got bigger and bigger, you know. So that's a situation where he came in and he saw his opportunity and he went above and beyond. And they do, it's magical, you know. It's a great experience.
Cube?
When they don't, it's like
people that show.
yeah.
And I was like, there ain't nothing I could say. You know what I'm saying? They thought they had the best show. The cars ain't stopped coming to America. he following you. That's like a guy cars from Japan. But yeah, that was a certain way of that you hold yourself to a certain standard.
Yeah, man. You don't want to be, you know, a waste of people's time, most important, and money. You can't waste people time and money if they came to see you. And the show has to be, you know, perfect, really. If it's not perfect, then we got to fix, we got to tweak, we got to figure out what happened. You know, we got to do an investigation like a plane crash. You know, it's like, where's the black box?
Right, yeah.
And what the hell happened with that show?
Open.
And next show, we got to clear that up.
Even to the last tour.
Even to the last tour.
You still?
Know? Yeah, you know, it's always calibrations that need to happen. When you're doing anything, you can't just be like, oh, this is going to be cool. Everything's straight. We got it. It's always, how do we make it better? How do we make it better without overdoing it? You know? And so you got to get that point where it's as good as it can be. Anything else will tip the scale and just keep it right there.
Do you do the same when it comes to comedy too, though, Mike? Because there's times when I'll see Mike Epps and I'm like, all right, he's killing it, but you also know how to see something in the crowd. Yeah. And like, you can't say, oh, Mike does crowd work. There's crowd work also, but you're tight. But sometimes I feel like you're never going to give us the same show twice.
No.
It's something, and then you know how to turn it for, like, I just recently saw you on, what was it? Was it We the Ones?
Yeah, We the Ones tour.
And that felt very Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It felt very home plate for what was going down.
Right.
Are you conscious to that when you coming out on stage?
Yeah, I literally, I feel sorry for the rest of these comics because I really use what God gave me to do it. And I don't never know what I'm going to say. So God bless you brothers out there writing every day, trying to remember all them jokes.
Right.
But I literally don't know what I'm going to say.
Until,
but I live it. So, it just come out. It's, you know what I mean? It's like instinct. It's like seeing a lion in the jungle. Like, he don't know what he gonna do if you walk up on him. Or, you know what I mean? Or if you see him leaping or something. But this is just it's what I do. You know what I mean?
Got 2 more Netflix.
All right, y'all. So we stop it right there just to take a quick conversation break or whatnot. But I love me some Mike Epps, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I love me some Mike Epps. And I've watched all of his stand-up special. He's hilarious. And of course, you know, we love him in the films of the Friday franchise. But one of the things that he said there just at the end that stuck out to me is like, when you do what you do, how you do it, and you do it well, you just pop out there and you be yourself. You bring yourself to the stage. You bring yourself to the platform. Bringing yourself also means bringing your experiences, things that you've been through, things that you survived through, things that you do every day. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think makes you genuine and really good at whatever it is, even when it comes to acting, stand-up comedy, or being a content creator and just coming here to the YouTube platforms and stuff like that to make content. When you bring an essence of yourself, you can only bet on you. You can't go wrong. You're the only you. You're the only one that can do it the way you do. That stood out to me. Imani, what are some things that stood out to you here? And this is a little recap of some of the stuff from yesterday before we move forward or whatnot. But for this overall conversation and even some of the things that we heard yesterday, what are some things that you want to speak about or, you know, touch on that we heard within their conversation so far?
Just want to touch on a bit what we were saying yesterday. It's a great interview. I love the Big Boy franchise. And please go over and support Big Boy TV. He has other channels. He has great interviews there. There's lots of different content there. Please make sure you go over there and subscribe to the channel and support the work that he's doing. He's very respectful. I love the camaraderie between the three of them. It makes for a really easy interview. And I love Mike Epps too. And what he said, there were a couple of things that he says. He says he doesn't know what he's going to say, he just says it. Um, there are different ways that people deliver their comedy. Some people have to have stuff written and they have to memorize it. He doesn't memorize it. He practices it, but he just goes out there and he doesn't know what he's going to say when he gets on stage. And that's why he's such a natural comic. The other thing he was saying that, you know, I don't know if we covered it yesterday, but he talks about, and I might be going forward with this. He talks about people being able to to achieve fame is much easier nowadays because of social media, and people can become famous without mastering their craft, without the hard work that it's gone into for people like him and some of the old school comics. And if anybody used to watch Def Jam, you'll see there was a lot of talent that came out of that. You'll see people like Dave Chappelle, you'll see Cheryl Underwood, you'll see, oh my God, Bernie Mac, you'll see D.L. Hughley or Hughley. You'll see lots of greats, and they were masters of their craft. And some of them did have writers, but some of them, it was just their natural talent that came through. And that's what Mike Epps shows. He's got a natural talent. He's sharp, he's funny, and he brings himself into the comedy. And also, Cube's also great to have kept this franchise. He cares about, whether he's wasting people's time and money. And so he wanted it to be great. That's why it's taken so long for them to decide, because prequels, sequels, they can be disappointing. But I love the fact that the encouragement he gave to Mike Epps to not be Chris Tucker, but to be himself. I mean, that's what I took from a lot of yesterday. And it's nice to see brothers just sitting down, having a casual chat about their lives, about their stuff.
Right, exactly. And so that's why I ran it back a little bit, just for anybody who did not hear, some of the portion of yesterday. Those were conversations that they were having that I thought really hit home. So I was like, I really want people to hear this message right here. And so, but now, we're speeding it up because we got to get through it, y'all. We got to get through it. But excellent conversation with three men that, like you said, are showing camaraderie for each other, respect for each other in all of their different lanes. We got Mike Epps up here, who is a tremendous comedian, stand-up comedian, and actor, businessman. We have Ice Cube, who started off, we know how he started. We all start somewhere, but he turned that into something where he could rap and he can put his experiences within the cities, the inner cities of, Compton and the West Coast where he lived, into music, and he became a great rapper. And a lot of people thought it was going to stop there. And then he didn't stop there at being just a rapper. He went further. And now he's an excellent director and producer and creator, and puts other people on and give them opportunities. And also Big Boy TV, which I don't know a lot about his prior history, but I know what he does on his platform and his podcast, his radio station, is excellent. And I really, really do enjoy his personality. He seems like he's a really nice guy. But looking that we can have these type of conversations, right? That's what really does it for me. And of course, we're all triumphant because, or maybe not all, but most of us are, because we like the Friday franchise. We're so happy to be getting another one, and they're going to do it and do it like it's never been done before. And I can feel it in my bones. And one of the things we talked about yesterday when it comes to the Friday franchise and other, like hood movies and things of that nature, it's like, yes, this is a hood story and a hood experience. However, you see throughout those sad stories that it comes with love, it comes with light, it comes with beauty as well, as much as it comes with some of the darkness and the unfortunate things that you sometimes have to navigate through when you do live in those type of communities and have to navigate those situations. But there's still love, there's still friendship, there's family vibes, there's homeboys, homegirls, fun, all of the things that you can have in life. It doesn't matter. Even if you in your lowest predicament and you don't know you're gonna have to eat a mayonnaise sandwich, there's still laughter that can come in that day, even after you may be having to eat a mayonnaise sandwich because that's all you got. And so sometimes these films and stuff show that. They also show the struggle and the pressure. And the ones I watch is typically a lot of, males and they're in the streets and stuff like that. But it shows the pressure that can be on them sometimes and why they end up in that predicament and they make the choices that they make. A lot of times it's just this is the hand you've been dealt, and you navigate with it the best you can, and you gotta survive. So I like that they were able to bring these type of films to the media, right? So we could see, yeah, don't hate us, don't be scared of us, don't look down on us, understand us. And we can teach you through our content. We can teach you through our productions that you have a perception of what it is. But let me give you an inside look. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much, y'all. Mayonnaise sandwich. Wow, it's been a while. Brick City, you get it, right? You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I think these films and individuals can be able to laugh at. I see Mike Epps, we get up on stage, he talk about things where it's like, yo, it's funny because it's relevant. You get it. You lived it, probably experienced it. It's the truth. And that's what I think really pours into the heart of great comedy. And when it comes to, making these type of classic films. But let's get back into some more to interview y'all, and we'll meet y'all in the chat.
Well, I learned this from Bruce Lee.
Right.
You don't tell nobody you jumped out the bushes on me to try my kung fu. Wasn't nobody there but me and you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how the business is, man. And unfortunately, you just have to, man, we had Cube too. He made a song about that. That's where I got the lyrics at. Ain't no other kings in this rap thing. They siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but my children. One shot disappearing. He basically saying, all y'all running around here talk.
That's a Biggie line, but
yeah, don't worry about it.
It don't matter. But guess what? It fits you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because you was before Biggie.
That part out.
You was before Biggie.
No.
We need a lot of this
but
shit.
we talking about giving credit. We talking about giving credit with credit's due.
I was doing a lyric in my head, and I was like,
hey, yeah.
And I know Cube.
I mean, I did a song called Child Support using that hook, but the thing is,
Biggie was one of his babies too.
Go ahead now.
Let's go. Come on.
No. He was like, I'm gonna be right.
Am I lying?
No, you're not. It's all real, and I'm a sibling to Melly Mel, KRS-One, and all the OGs that came before me.
Yes,
that's how it go.
Hello,
that's how it should.
But started this gangster shit.
Yeah, but the difference between you and them,
things I get.
Yeah.
The difference between you and them, you gonna tell them. You just like you just said that. These youngsters, they don't know to say that. They want somebody to think that they started that it came from them, but it's not. It's not real.
But you know what I love about both of you is you guys are veterans, and I got this from 40 Water. Veterans and relevant at the same time. Like Mike, you'll go out and everyone fucks with you. Either by fashion, by lingo, by you know what I'm saying?
Gangbangers.
Yeah.
Hoes. Cube the same way.
Yeah, man.
I mean, for years been servicing these people, real people, man.
But Cube, you know how to disappear too. You'll see important. Cube is tour time, Cube. Big 3 times.
You don't fuck
Cube.
around.
You like yeah, man.
I don't think you should be popping out every night if you ain't got nothing to offer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
What you
nobody
doing?
just want to see your ass.
I'm just out
It's
here.
like, what you got? You got a movie, you got a record. Don't be popping out just to be
out here.
Like, have something for the fans
Get your ass
to
to
be
the
a
house.
part of. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Big Three, man,
Yes.
you guys just did the draft,
Yes.
right? What's going down with Big Three?
Oh,
And Big
man.
Three doesn't start in LA?
We start in LA, into a dome, June 20th. Tickets gonna sell next week. And we need to fill that place up, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, we got 2 games here. We got week 1 and I think week 4.
Oh, so we get a chance to come back too.
Yeah. You know, so it's gonna be fun. Can't wait till the summer hit. They ready.
Hey, man, on with sports also, we had a chance to see, you as a Dodger, and you're a diehard Laker fan as well.
Yep.
Right? Lakers didn't make it this year.
Nah.
What do you think LeBron does next year?
Hopefully he play.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
I mean,
'Cause somebody
somebody play with the Lakers because Luka wasn't there. You know, we could still add a few more pieces. And to me, I think, it's worth another shot.
When somebody, because
I say you get your old ass out the way and clear that money up and let them get
I
a
heard
new
that.
star. I think to
Who's
me,
the star? Who?
Ant-Man, go get Ant-Man.
Is he definitely?
He's a Laker.
Is he a free
you
agent?
think that
He's
it's time
definitely a
for
Laker.
LeBron to not be a Laker or not be in basketball?
Well, this is what I think. I think that the Laker franchise is what the NBA is to me when it comes down to basketball. Just like Dallas Cowboys is to football. We expect,
Houston.
yeah, I'm just saying, we expect a lot from the franchise.
Right.
It's always been a franchise. When I watch the playoffs, when the Lakers ain't in it, nah.
Right.
I like to see their yellow. I like to see, that yellow does something to me. But when it ain't there, it ain't there. So, hey, man, LeBron, go back to Cleveland for your last year.
You think he need to do
Settle it
farewell out of Cleveland?
That's where he from. Yeah. That's why hey, man, the man did it, man. The man did everything he was supposed to do. I don't take nothing from him. But the Lakers, they need some, there's some new guys out there that's off the chain. Damn.
No.
Clear that money up.
One more year with the Lakers.
Yeah,
if you're
man.
gonna do
One
it.
more year?
Oh,
One more year with the
definitely.
Lakers for
and
sure.
he got to
Leave
go
from LA.
He got to go
Q.
farewell from
Yeah,
here.
We need a farewell.
Don't leave from Cleveland.
Cleveland,
I don't
he
know.
might muck it up over there. They already doing their thing. That I don't know if that'd be great for that franchise, but
He
for the
was
Lakers,
cold out there, though.
Right.
That's where he was the best at.
No
He
doubt.
was the best in Cleveland.
But they doing pretty good right now without him. I don't know if they really want that distraction. But
He said this-
as far as
Is that what it is?
having
Are these
LeBron come,
confidences? Like,
no, real.
Nah, I
As
hear
far as
you.
LeBron coming in and what he commands
right.
could mess up what
You
they
got to
got
center
going.
everything.
He's already here. They got Luka. They just need some few more pieces. You can't depend on
Reeves.
LeBron to do it all.
Mhm.
But I still think he's too great just to let him go and play for somebody
Imagine,
else.
Cleveland would have Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, LeBron James. That team would be stacked. Bro.
Oh, you
telling
trying to
you.
stack
Went back to
against us,
Cleveland.
huh,
I'm
Mike?
Man,
No, I ain't trying to stack a gig.
Oh, okay, just
no,
That'd be stacked.
because at the end of the day, they still the world champion Lakers. They got more rings than anybody could ever think of one. Just think, I'm from Indiana. I don't even have a half a ring.
Right. You don't even have a top
I
one.
don't even have a half a ring, man. So these guys got big rings, and that's another thing too. LeBron only won one ring here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He can win one next year.
Cube, I love you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
He can win one next year.
Yeah, we'll get one next year.
Damn.
He said, damn. Can you go to a Laker game without a ticket, Mike Epps?
I don't go to the Laker games.
Especially now. You better not go
I
now.
don't go to the Laker games.
Why not?
That's the real epitome of the high school prom, and I didn't graduate.
Really,
from high
though?
Yeah, that joint is a circus for real. It felt like a real high school up in that joint. It's like Hollywood. It's like, bling,
So you don't go?
No, I gotta.
And Q, will you go to a Laker game?
What you mean?
Like, do you go to Laker games though, right?
Yeah.
But are you in a suite? Are you up a little bit where you're not
No, I
trying
ain't
to be
got my
seen?
sweet no more.
Oh damn, I was about to try to go with you. You
Nah,
saw right through that
I
shit.
got rid of the sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, you been in asking so you get in.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I'm tacky as a motherfucker, boy.
That
But
boy
I
slick,
don't
man.
show up nowhere without
I
a
know.
ticket.
Really?
No, I would never go anywhere.
You gotta be
without a ticket.
invited, huh?
Just like, you know who I am? Let me in the door.
Oh man, I be getting in on your name everywhere.
Ah.
I'm like, man, I'm like Cube 20 minutes behind me. Hey Cube, when was the last time you went to like Disneyland?
Oh man, it's a few years ago.
I would love to see you at
A few
Disneyland.
years ago. Yeah,
When was the
I
last
had
time you
fun
went?
at- when they it was when they brought in the Star Wars whole
Are you a Star
section.
Wars guy?
Yeah.
Oh really though?
Yeah.
Oh,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He said Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ja- Mike Epps be cracking me up. But yeah, we just pausing right here to take a quick commentary break. So yeah, in this segment here is less about Friday and they having some man time. You know, they talking about basketball and stuff like that. And I'm not a basketball fan or the way, but I watch basketball. You know, especially if you got a boyfriend or husband or something like that. You probably done watch some basketball, or you into it. You know, or you played it, whatever. But they had me. They talk about LeBron and the Lakers in Cleveland, all of that. So my opinion is, I feel like Cleveland is still heartbroken. When he walked away and he went up over there to the Lakers the first time. And he did some really great things in Cleveland and some really great things, with LA and the Lakers and stuff as well. But one of the things I used to talk about this before when it comes to LeBron. I know, like they said, like he the GOAT, he the GOAT, he the GOAT. Every now and then, it's just like you got to understand you can't be the GOAT forever. And there's a faster turnover these days, right? Because we got these young cats coming up and they really got the juice. And I just feel like it's your due diligence to like move out the way and let, what I mean, the younger dudes have a chance or whatnot. But it's not to say, whatever, you playing beyond your prime, but I just feel like you didn't had your fair run. Like you can give these younger people a place, a position, another chance. Now, what I think, my personal opinion is with people like LeBron, genius when it comes to the sport, right? So like what I would think is like, why wouldn't you just step off the court and just start to coach, you know what I'm saying, and manage, like own maybe the team if you want to own the team, but really be a coach, you know what I'm saying? Because when the younger dudes come in, if you're the GOAT, you have so much you can teach them and you can structure them and things like that. So like at some point I feel like, can we pivot a bit, like just slide over, you know what I'm saying, in the coaching position or something like that, or whatever it is you want to do. But I think that they need to let the young boys come in and do what they do, let them showcase their talent, their skill. And these young boys is out here getting it. And I mean from a young age, because I got nieces and nephews, they do sports and stuff like that. My boyfriend, children do sports and stuff like that, and they're really nice. And I know, like, yo, they're on a level of talent right now that I know there's no way if they wanted to go pro and be in the pros, I know they can make it because like they already know it, and they start them from like 3 years old and all of that. But anyway, that's just my little sports excerpt. Imani, what do you have to say or think or feel about this segment?
Um, I can only say that when I was in the States, or when I lived in the States, I used to watch a lot of basketball because, yeah, for me, I preferred it to the football. Um, and also, we call what you call football. Um, our soccer is what we call football. So I'm more of a soccer and tennis. And, I have nieces and nephews that do play basketball at school. And I also have nieces and nephews that play soccer as well. So I do think it's hard. I mean, when you look at some of the greats, the time to move over and become a coach, there have been some great people who've moved over from even in soccer from the playing to the coach position, and I think it's hard for some of these guys to let go, and they would make great mentors and great inspiration to these young guys, to these young guys and girls, sorry, coming up. And I think, yeah, it is, that's going to be it, and that's all. But my real stuff that I watch is really tennis and soccer, and like the World Cup that's starting today. Yeah, I'll be glued to that. I'll be glued to
Oh,
that.
that's cool. I like tennis and soccer too. My mom used to play tennis. Actually, when she was in high school, my mama played tennis, and
Mm.
she taught me when I was growing up or when I how to play tennis. And with soccer, I'm not so good at that with the the foot coordination and all of the things. But I like to watch. I like to watch a lot of different sports and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I
But
played netball. I played netball at school.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty fun. Like, is
Yeah,
that
it's
you talking
kind
about
of
a club?
it's like basketball without the bouncing, really.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
you're not allowed to bounce. Well, you can. The new rules, you can, but there are a limited amount of times you can bounce the ball in netball. But yeah, I played netball at school.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know like well, the sport that I play is I ran track and I play softball, and I wish I could have played softball for longer when I was in high school, but child, life be life, and I had to go
Mm.
on here and get a job as a teenager. I said, child, I want to still play, but I didn't
Yeah,
have time.
my boyfriend ran track. He's fast. He's fast, very fast.
I like softball more than track though. I really enjoy softball. I played the outfields, and that helped because I ran track, so I was kind of fast because I was small and slim and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like tiny. So I was fast, and so then after I was doing a little bit of track or whatnot, then I started doing softball, and then when I did softball, they put me in the outfields because you gotta
Yeah.
be fast there and get it. But that
We
was a
have a
fun.
game actually called Rounders that's kind of
What's
a
that?
mix between it's kind of a mix between yeah, it's a bit like softball, but the ball is harder in Rounders. Um but yeah, we used to play that a lot as well. So yeah, the thing that I think that the 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 youngsters of today, because they're glued behind screens, they don't get as much exercise as we did when we were younger, because we didn't have the access to social media. They get the most exercise they get are with their, game consoles. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Child, we was lucky if we could catch our favorite show on the TV. Because that was a luxury to be able to watch a show on the TV. Most of your time was spent outside. And you either, most of the time you playing like in your neighborhood and community and stuff like that with your friends. But you outside. You're always outside. And then if you have the luxury to be able to do sports and stuff when you're in school or for your community teams and stuff like that, it's still outside. Like we were not inside as much as these kids is inside. And I don't know. I feel everything. It can be a balance. Every now and then you may want to sit in the air conditioning and play a little video game, but at some point you got to get outside and exercise and run around and meet other kids and do things like that. Like in my neighborhood where I stay, you rarely see kids outside. I was so excited when like I was seeing little teeny ones around that was like JJ's age. And I was like, oh, you'll see them, but it's like they go from the car to the house. Like you never see them outside. And I think too, in neighborhoods, if they start putting incentives out for kids to come outside, like put little parks and playgrounds and stuff like that outside, that maybe would be an incentive for more kids to come out. There's a lot of parents, that think the same, like, raised up in the same generation. They like, yo, our kids really need to be outside. So those parents will make their kids and tell their kids, like, we got to spend some time outside running and playing, doing sports, activities, whatever. But some
yeah.
kids, like you said, they just be inside all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a really big family, and during the summer, we go to the park with our kids, people who've got kids, grandkids, and we kind of have, our own sort of version of a cookout at the park, and we play games and we have races. And I think the thing that, because I remember, like, my brothers did boxing, for example. So we used to watch boxing. together as a family. There were lots of sports that we watched. We definitely watched, the track and field events of the Olympics and stuff. So we were very much into stuff that we supported the sports that like my brothers and sisters and I did. And it was something that brought kind of the family together, supporting, and it gave us an interest in a sport. If you see, my brothers did boxing and they played football, and my nieces and nephews. So in order to support, we all watched it. We all took an interest. We all go and support when someone is playing. Like one of my nephews, he's just been signed on a pro contract for football, or soccer as we call it. And I think that's what a lot of is missing, is that together, that bringing people together. I mean, we used to laugh when we used to go to the park, and you'd see the old aunties trying to run races with the kids. I mean, it was just, basic fun. And I think that's the community stuff that is missing a lot, because a lot of kids are pinned behind screens playing Call of Duty, and shooting up the place. It's the truth. Because we didn't have that. We didn't have that. We had to share a lot of stuff when we were growing up. So
I
we
know,
didn't have televisions in our room. There was, we couldn't not watch what our parents were watching, because we didn't
right,
have the amount of TVs. We didn't have the amount of channels. You had to watch what they were watching. So if they wanted to watch boxing, then you watch boxing. If they wanted to watch the news, you watch the news. You know, like you said, and we spent our summers outside,
right.
outside.
So two things real quick. So number one, like you said, when you said the aunties be outside racing and participating, I'm one of those aunties, child. And something happened last summer, yo. I was outside, the kids was outside. I love being outside with the kids, right? And child, I was racing them. I said, let's race. And I was racing, and the grass was still a little bit slick from the day before. Child, why I bust my behind? Like it just fell down and just bust my behind. But I couldn't win. I couldn't win against one child that is very inclined when it comes to sports. Like he's very good at sports. He's really fast. He's really good. But the rest of
Listen,
them, I won against them. But this one child, and I don't want to say because I don't know. But he's a
listen, let me just tell you the thing that we have. I don't know if you guys do it a lot, because obviously, my son was educated in the UK, but on school they used to have, they changed it because they don't want people, they don't have winners and losers anymore, which is really about life. But they used to have a sports day, where the children's sports day was hilarious. It was more hilarious when it came to the parents race, because that's when you see competitiveness. I mean, we used to think this is like a little parents' race. You see these parents doing their stretching, they've got spikes. You're thinking, what? This
they
is
got
just
something to
like
prove. They got to tell the people we still got it.
it was hilarious. Sometimes I used to say, what's going on? Are they actually trying to try out for the Olympics? Because you're thinking this is just a little race at the school
They got their
sports day.
headbands on, the wristbands on. They are ready to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, headbands, the spikes. You're like, okay, this parent's really taking this seriously. You see the stretching.
They done
Who has
dusted off their old
kids?
uniform, child. They out there like it's back 1963 again, child. We about to get
But anyway, let's continue. Oh my God, me and you,
okay.
we could be here all
Never
day with this chatting.
run, boy, keep going. Yeah. But yeah, I'm that auntie that's out there seeing them. Child, they don't even do rope no more. I'm gonna just say that. But I'm that auntie out there. If I see them doing double dutch, I'll be like, yo, let me get a jump. And they're gonna be surprised because I know how to jump. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back into the video.
Oh man.
Is that him?
Huh? Yeah,
Obi-Wan.
he a character.
Obi Kenobi.
You know when people say the one name, oh yeah,
Yoda.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. My
Yoda.
cousin from your hood. He was trying to throw you one of those. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yoda.
Do you go to the movies?
Which one?
Any movie? Have you
Yeah.
seen a Michael movie yet?
I just went to see Michael Jackson.
You went to the theater?
I went to the theater.
Do you have to wait for the lights to go off, then you can walk in?
No. I went to that one over there in the marina where you can lay back with the food and everything.
And you walk in just as Mike Epps?
Yeah, don't nobody be messing with me like that. I'm a star, but I ain't shining.
Right? What about you, Cube? You seen Michael movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
Do you want to go see
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
All
I'm
right, we
trying
go
to
see it together.
No problem.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
go.
It's good.
Hey, man, I do want to once again talk about what's happening on July 17th. Every Day is Friday, featuring Ice Cube and Mike Epps and others. And this is not just a concert. This is an event.
Yeah.
We get a chance to bring lifestyle. We get a chance to bring music. We get a chance to bring comedy. And this is one of those shows. Is this going to be a one and done? From what I'm seeing.
We'll see how it go. And
Yeah.
if it catch on, we'll continue to do it around the country.
So Every Day is Friday. What is that to you, Cube?
It's just that good feeling, that the movie brings, the lyrics, lounging and laughing.
Yeah.
So there's been comedy and music before, that's nothing new. But to wrap it around a franchise like this, hopefully people dress up in their favorite,
Yeah, man.
character and, win a little money.
That's
And
cool.
Just
in
have fun
itself.
with it.
Have you been to that Long Beach amphitheater? They
No,
say it's
no.
amazing in there.
No, I can't wait to go.
Yeah, this that new spot that's right there by the water.
Yeah, about to.
Yeah, so this I love this
That's
because
that new.
Snoop announced there, you announced there, like hip hop is breaking, we breaking
Yeah.
it in, bro.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's gonna be fun. And we want everybody to come on out, celebrate the movie. We're gonna celebrate, some of the people we lost,
Yeah.
like John Witherspoon and Tiny and
AJ,
and
yeah.
Bernie Mac, and so it's gonna be one of those days. We're gonna have fun and
Dude, just even right
put it
now.
in the air. I ain't saying you should put it in there.
Yeah, but if you do,
You might smell something in the air. You never know.
But
You
even
never
right
know.
now, Q,
Yeah.
even when you went through the roll call of those that aren't here too, there's a lot like Bernie Mac again. Bernie kills in that movie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like and Bernie is another one too, man, because even with Players Club,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
with my man, dude, Bernie is one of those people, man, that it felt like all you had to do was just say action.
Yeah, you give him the script and he go and he tweak them little words,
Mhm.
Bucket naked and
Yeah,
all
and
that.
see, and those are things that would forever
Bucket
last.
nigga.
Yeah, and so that's why you hire him.
Mhm.
You like, okay, here's the script. Of course, we want that, but we need, put that stank on it.
Hey man, in Players Club, when he like, was that in the script when he said, "Who you think you are?" DJ Quick,
Yeah,
Kid Capri, was that
Yeah,
in the script?
it's in the script.
Oh, so you right, yeah. So you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
DJ Kid Capri. I don't pay you for nothing but
Now the
to play
Jimmy
records.
Walker,
right,
that wasn't in the script. And you even see Jamie Foxx face like
Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker.
And
Why
then
would I
Jamie
wanna-
Foxx,
Yeah.
but like, man, it just.
Like, why would I think of
Hey,
Jimmy
Mike, and what movie is the 25? What movie?
Oh, that's
All about
All
the
about
business.
the Benjamin.
All about the business.
Hey, Mike, you another one that got. It's like so many
It's a great movie, man.
catchphrases that become cultural hold-ons for us, bro. We can sit here and there's an easy dozen
Yes.
that you guys have, easy dozen that we could just name like this.
And
bro.
you know what's really crazy about that? I've done a lot of movies, right? And they don't remember the lines in those movies, but they remember my lines in the Friday movie.
Yeah.
Any movie I did with Cube, and I still contest that to say that Cube hires people and he knows exactly where to place them at for them to be themselves, you know.
Mhm. Let me ask you this: how long has this partnership been going on? This is
Man, we met each other in 1999, so 27 years.
Yeah,
all right, 27 years. Already great movies,
Yes.
friendship, kinship. Y'all show up for
Yes.
each other. We've seen that. I want to do something with you guys called Things You Should Know. All right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah, you
Me
do.
neither.
Yeah, you do. All righty now.
All right, y'all. I know it's just getting good. We're going to stop it right there before they get into the little game because I want to play too. I think it's going to be fun. But y'all, we got more topics to get into, right? So we're just going to stop it there. We'll give some of our final thoughts and opinions on this segment, take a quick song break, and then we're going to get into Maya and Keke Palmer. Imani, I'm going to let you lead with this one, girl. What's up? What you think?
Well, I thought it's. I advise people to go over and watch the whole interview. It was a really great interview. I mean, look, after 27 years, they're still friends. They talk about further going further on. They talk about beef in hip hop, and they talk about the Biggie Pac situation. So please go over and watch the rest of the video. Please go and subscribe to Big Boy TV. They got some great stuff over there. I just loved the whole interview because I like Mike Epps and I also like Cube. And the fact that they're still, still humble, still humble, don't need the public recognition. They said, they don't always have to be visible. They go dark or quiet whenever they're ready. It's great that they're bringing back this new movie, Friday movie, and the real flex isn't fame. Um, the real flex is becoming what your younger self wanted to be. And I think that's what you see with these guys here. They really, really mastered their craft. They changed the trajectory of, how people view us, director, rapper, they can articulate what they've been doing, talk about, a history, which is important. They gave homage to the greats like Bernie Mac, like John Witherspoon and others. I loved Bernie Mac and I still watch some of his stuff today. And you know, this yeah, our identity isn't a setback, and it's not our struggles never our final destination, and you can rewrite your story anytime, no matter what your experiences are. And that's what I took a lot from this interview. It was a great interview, great mutual respect. Like I said, go and watch the end of the rest of the interview, because there was some great stuff still to see, but we gotta move on, and that's really it. That's all I've got. What about you?
Absolutely. I agree with everything you just said. It's one of the my favorite things about the interview, which they really brought home for people to really fully understand and see, is that in this world, in this life, we are all different. Each and every one of us, all created beautifully and uniquely different. And we have something about us that we can bring to the table or we may be good at. We have a energy and a swagger, that's what I call it, that we all come to the table with. And I like the fact that they talked about it's not only being the person who understands that that is the thing, right? Like there's only one me and only I can do what I do the way I do it. But I also like the fact that we have people like you that may be in positions to be able to put people on, work with them, but also give them that free reign to still remain themselves and not put them in a box. They see the greatness, they see the talent within them, and they say, you know what, this is the structure of what we're doing. So here's the script, but you know what? Put you all up in it. Put you all up on that. Do what you do. You got it. I trust you. And it's like when you have that trust to just let people be who they are and let them be free, you see the beauty, every single time, because we all have it. We all got it. It's not a flex. It's not a brag. It's for everybody to know. We all have our own swag. We all have our own gifts and abilities to bring to the table. And again, seeing three men here having a healthy, positive conversation, comedy in there, love, embracement in there. That's lovely to see. We need to see more of that so we can set the bar and the standard for, our fellas can get together and be with one another. You ain't got to hate on him because he got this and he got that role. He do this and he do that. You be happy with what you do and be happy for others for what they do, because we all are doing great things. No one better than the other. I think that really, shine through in that interview as well. And of course, y'all, we are excited because we about to get Last Friday coming out in theaters. We'll see when the release date will be, but I think it's a film that everybody has been hoping and wishing probably to get, and we are getting it, so that is excellent. And I know it's gonna be epic. And shout out to Cube for putting on, and I like to say names. I said his name earlier, but I'm gonna just say putting on one of the writers and producers of the Boondock series. If y'all have never seen the Boondock series, the cartoon or whatnot, shout out to him for putting him on. I know in the writers' room it's going to be epic because the Boondocks is also another one of my favorite show, y'all. And it's unfortunate that it ended as soon as it did. It should have got all of the seasons that Family Guy got and South Park and all the things, but that's another conversation for another day. Anyway, moving on from that, y'all, because y'all know I could talk. We're going to go ahead and take a quick song break if you don't have anything else to add, Imani. And then after that song break, we'll hop into Maya on self-love, independence for her conversation with Keke Palmer. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, girl. I'll see you in a bit. Y'all, we'll meet y'all in the chat. We'll be right back. Thanks for rocking with us on this song break and coming to spend your time with us today for our live. We really appreciate your presence. We will be right back.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Look, I ain't even do too much, they started watching. Soon as I walked in, the energy switched. Okay, got that swagger, can't teach this. Whole lot of pressure, whole lot of drip. Walking smooth, make the whole room tilt. They're like, damn, that's it. Got that swagger, can't fake this. Can't buy sauce, can't make this. Everybody lit, but it hit different when I'm in it. Hey, got that swagger, got that juice, got that vibe, can't duplicate moves. Got that look, got that feel. Whole lot of, I know I'm that, for real. Fresh face, no stress, still put pressure on they best. No gimmicks, no cap, whole fit talking, I don't gotta. Hey, everybody wanna know what the secret is. Truth is, I just move like I mean this. Big energy, no announcement. Walking quiet, still the loudest. Ain't nobody me, that's obvious. Copy my wave, get lost in it. Tryna figure out what the formula is. Baby, this confidence, too cool to force it, too fly to chase it. When you know who you are, you don't gotta say it. Got that swagger, can't teach this. Whole lot of pressure, whole lot of drip. Walking smooth, make the whole room tilt. They're like, damn, that's it. Got that swagger, can't fake this. Can't buy sauce, can't make this. Everybody lit, but it hit different when I'm in it. Okay, left side, pop, 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 pop. Left side, pop, 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 pop. Walk, 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 walk. Okay, run it back, run it back, run it, run it back, run it back, run it back. I don't compete, I exist. That's enough to make them sick. Whole mood, whole vibe, whole lot of confidence outside. They scroll, they stare, trying to figure out how I got here. Meanwhile, I'm chilling, minding business, still somehow the topic of discussion. Ain't natural, no effort. Whole room move when I step first. Can't copy presence, can't clone flavor. That's why they watch now and watch later. Got that struggle, can't teach this. Whole lot of pressure, whole lot of drip. Walking smooth, make the whole room tilt. They're like, damn, that's it. Got that struggle, can't fake this. Can't buy sauce, can't make this. Everybody cool, everybody fly, but ain't nobody you. That's the whole vibe. Yeah, talk us, show more.
All right, y'all, we back. We back. Thank you for rocking with us for that quick song break. Sorry, I was taking a bit to come back, child. I had to go to the restroom. I ain't gonna lie. But all right, so we about to go ahead and get into our second topic for today. And y'all know that we watched a little bit of this conversation as well yesterday. And this one is with Maya. And she was sitting down with the lovely, lovely Keke Palmer. I love both of those women. I think they're very cool, classy, and again, like we were just talking about, y'all, they are women that just walk in their own identity. You know, they got their own swag. So we're going to be breaking down and talking about in between watching Maya's vulnerable appearance, okay, on the podcast. Maya maps out her journey from being a teenager, navigating major label pressures, to an independent powerhouse who brought her own masters, y'all. This is serious, her own masters. A move heavily inspired by Prince. And learning a lot about her, y'all, because I didn't know that she had all of the relationships and connections that she did, or met the people that she did at such a young age. The emotional peak centers on her decision to literally marry herself. This is what she's done in a private ceremony, redefining what standard happiness and peace looks like for a successful Black woman in the public eye. So, y'all, let me go ahead and get this video pulled up here. We will watch this together and do our, fun commentary in between. So, let's see if we can pick up where we left off, y'all. Give me just a sec. I'm going to get everything set up here. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content, the conversation.
People before this. I thought this was
Because, I have my personality, Imani has her personality, you all have your own personality, and we all bring those together and we just have a good time over here. And that's what it's about. We all can be different, but we all can still have a good time and kick it and rock and shit. Love and laughter and happiness. And I think that's the move. I think that's the goal. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Let me get this up here on the screen. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Let me put up my disclaimer and let's get
was interesting and maybe give more context around it. That you said you kind of get emotional when you hear your younger voice because of everything that you endured. What do you mean by that? In the industry or just kind of like in life or maybe both? I don't know.
I look at myself as a young girl learning who she was during a time that, of course, you step out in public and part of the world knows you
Yeah.
globally as well
Mm-hmm.
as things begin to succeed, and hopefully they do. And then what that looks like internally for you. Um, with so many opinions that I mentioned earlier, and how to navigate that process and hold on to you as you're learning you and figuring that out. That can be very tough if you don't have people around you that have your best interest
Mm-hmm.
versus just trying to profit off of what you are to them, a product and a brand. And I understand that too, because there's business, there's art, and they can intersect. And so learning how to define what success is for yourself,
Yeah.
what beautiful is for yourself, and create a space where you feel safe, where you feel seen,
Yeah.
even if you have to create it in the mirror with you. I get emotional because I was just so young with no life experience. But then
Yes.
there was a part of me that was very kick ass
Mm-hmm.
as a child of the arts. You got strict teachers and they're instilling discipline. And so when I look back, it's not because I was going through anything in particular, except for a divorce at the launch of my very first single, whereas my parents were my
Your
managers and I
parents.
couldn't have them around me anymore because it wasn't working out between them. And so now you're around strangers. There are worse things that are happening in the world, but I'm very proud of myself for pushing through with resilience, with faith and that foundation, because I was alone. I didn't
Yeah.
have a person that had my best interest at that time around me physically. And so I'm just around strangers. And so that's where I get emotional looking at that young girl and the fighter who
Yes.
did make it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. And
And
it's
pushed
always like
through.
that with hindsight. when we look back on our lives, and also we think
Yeah.
about all the amazing things that are happening at different points in times, and
Yeah.
whether we could actually embody the spirit of experiencing them at that time, which I think
Hmm.
sometimes it doesn't necessarily make it's sad, but it just is, it has a, I don't know if it's a sobering feeling, but I relate to it, where I look at different moments of my life as well, where I'm just like,
Hmm.
man, there was so much happening then. And but I see it from such a different place that maybe I couldn't have seen it from
Yeah.
then, which is
Hmm.
very interesting. But you've had such a unique relationship, I think, with the music industry, even just being so I wouldn't say corporate, but dealing with the industry head on and then eventually going independent.
Hmm.
What prompted those changes for you? You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Because I know for me, working in the music industry, it can be very tough. And I think
Hmm.
as time has changed, some doors have been a little bit more opened up that allow, you to not have to go through the same gatekeepers or just the same systems and lean on the same things. But I mean, in the early 2000s and the late
Hmm.
90s, that it was like either you're going to do it this way or then it becomes difficult. So for you, I'm wondering, like, what was that journey like with the industry, and how you
Hmm.
had to shift gears if you felt that you did.
Yeah. Well, I was with the major label system from 1998 through 2007.
Yeah.
There was an album leak for my fourth album, Liberation, that happened in 2007. And from there, I had the choice to, go into court just to get a little back end advance that was
Mm.
owed to me because it technically came out, or just go independent, whatever that was. I was not familiar what that meant. But I do know this: I was always an artist
Yeah.
prior to getting a record deal. And the beautiful blessings that happen in times of uncertainty or devastation lead to some amazing things. And I did get an offer to do a one territory release in Japan through a label over there, even though that's not what I wanted, because I had an album due that I'd already announced and done press for, and nothing. It was shelved.
Mm-hmm.
That's painful. After
Very.
you invest your own time, your money, your spirit, and some of your experiences into that, and you pour into it for a year and a half, and it doesn't come out, you feel like you've disappointed the world, your fans, and the narrative is not clear. So I went independent, and within less than a year, I put my very first independent project out in Japan, Sugar and
Mm-hmm.
Spice. And then the next year, I dropped another independent mixtape for, the fans stateside, with a lot of features on it, and partnered with Rapper Lot as well as Young Empire and Planet Nine, my label, to do that. Went back to Japan, did another album over there, but then I turned it into a US, Canada, as well as world version. So there was like three versions of that. There was also a double disc for the first album that I did. And then it got very addictive because it became fun. I started learning other aspects of the business: contract drafting, engineering, publishing splits, and really in a boutique way, under the
Yes.
radar way, learning other hats to wear and understanding, first of all the roles of the major label system. And I'm still learning to this day, um, in a way that I could still be productive versus destructive,
Mm-hmm.
twiddling my fingers, waiting for something to happen. I just moved forward. And I haven't stopped or looked back when people like Prince call you and be like, stay independent. And this is why. And
Yeah.
then they start talking about their journey and the importance of like protecting your peace and not understanding what they mean initially, but then seeing it show up later. And it's been a beautiful, fun, rewarding, fulfilling journey in so many ways that I never even imagined.
Yeah. What do you mean when you say the when it shows up later? Like, what would be those internal things that you can say, that you feel comfortable saying,
Yeah.
that make
Hmm.
the major system not
Hmm.
something that works and aligns with you?
Well, both work because I had a beautiful label system.
Yeah.
There are things that happen, leaks, with the
Yeah.
internet that was
Yeah.
born,
It's
Napster.
natural. It happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. And then the investment is tampered with and compromised. There's nothing bad that I have to say about the major label system because they birthed me and they're
Mm-hmm.
responsible for those hit records and investments. But there was a situation that did happen, and I just didn't want to spend the energy in court fighting and
Yeah.
fighting for something that, I mean, lawyers would probably absorb anyway,
That's right. No, that's true.
fee wise.
All right, y'all. We're just gonna stop it right there for a quick commentary break. I wanted to stop it right there when I heard her say just that thing. So we know that we listen to a lot of artists, some that have been in the industry, still in the industry, have decided to go independent. And one of the things that I love about Maya so much, and many other artists as well, is that you can pivot and shift and change how you want to navigate and do things in your life based off of what things, you experience, you see. But you also can still give grace to the fact that if it wasn't for those opportunities and experiences, then some of her biggest hits, albums, and career would have not necessarily popped off the way it did. However, after working within that system and seeing how a lot of things go and all the tick and tack and back and forth could possibly be, she just made a genuine decision to remove herself from it and do things a different way. And just because we pivot and decide to do things a different way doesn't mean that we have to discredit where we were, what we went through, especially if it's something that did actually aid and assist you. It's just not your thing. It's not your cup of tea anymore. You don't want to play that, game anymore or work in that area anymore. You can change it up without having to dog, you know what I mean? Certain things after you leave out. So I don't know. That stood out for me, Imani. Anything that stood out for you thus far with this portion and segment of the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, well, she does pay homage to where she came from. Obviously, her dad was an artist, but her her parents got divorced while she was still trying to work out who she was and where she wanted to be, and she lost some of the people who had managed and protected her, um, and she still wants to do Broadway, she says. She's still got things that she wants to do. She hasn't stopped, but she is very disciplined. She's got faith and she's very disciplined. And she talks about the loneliness of success when you have to go out there on your own and find your way um, around the system, especially when you've been quite protected with that great foundation she had with her parents in her life. So I found her that she shared her vulnerability through that situation, obviously going through a family situation at the same time. Um, and she still strives to do other stuff. There's still stuff she hasn't done yet. And that's why I think this is a great interview. The way it's delivered, the questions, that Kiki's asking her. It's telling. She's really telling her whole story, telling her vulnerabilities. This is why I was glued to this interview when I was watching it, and also talking about how young artists are treated, like products rather than people. So yeah, I took a lot from that, and like you said, you put it perfectly that she pivoted and decided to well, she probably had to do some things a different way as well because of the changes happening in her personal life.
Absolutely, I agree. And that's the thing. Life be lifing. And sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. But sometimes you may have an energy or a spirit where you roll with them and you don't have any regrets, and you don't hold any grudges. You just understand that sometimes things move on, life moves on, relationships move on. And it doesn't mean that when you leave from it, you have to be bitter or you have to bash it or say anything bad about it. You just change the way you do things and you keep it pushing. And that's one of the things that, like really stood out. And like you said, she was going through a lot of, things that some of us probably have experienced as well. A whole foundational crack in her foundation. When you come up and you have your mother and your father, whatever, and then they go through separation or divorce, that's something that's traumatic for you as well. Because at one point they worked as a team And that team was help aiding and assist you navigate through life. And now that team is separate. And you hate to feel like you gotta pick a side because you love your mother, you love your father. And now it's like, okay, what do I do here? So that's personal things, right? That you deal with. And that's underneath that, like that's aside from the career, the talent, and figuring out how to navigate that so well. I think she really has got it down to a science. So we clearly can tell she's a very smart and educated young woman. And she really sets a great example for a lot of the younger artists coming up. And another thing that I wanted to add in too, and this can be another conversation for another day as well. But she has been doing excellent work overseas, right? I've been watching her shows and things like that. And she decided that she was going to go overseas. I remember watching a classic movie from another actual real entertainer, Josephine Baker. And Josephine Baker was also another one that found more success when she went overseas. She felt like she was more appreciated and there was more, momentum within her career by leaving the States and going overseas. And we see a lot of entertainers that is the case. Once they leave the system, once they leave this country, they go overseas, they're appreciated and received a bit more, and things, go a little bit well. And that's not to say it's going to happen all of the time for everybody, but she reminds me of, like, speaking her story right now. It reminded me, it made me think about the story of Josephine Baker. And so anyway, within that segment, that's just a few things that I had commentary on. Did you have anything more you wanted to speak on before we go on and play a little bit more?
No, I think I will tell you though, when you go to the theatre district, the same thing is present. We see a lot of US stars. I think what's his name? Is it Tatum Channing? Oh, I can't remember, but
Shannon
he was
Tatum,
Channing.
the
Yeah,
actor.
that's right.
Shannon Tatum. Oh
There I
yeah,
go.
he's fine, bro. He real fine. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he was doing some stuff in the UK. And then you've got, Idris that does stuff in the US. So there's a great back and forth. And there's an appreciation, just as you appreciate, you guys really do make the Brits and others feel welcome here. We appreciate the fact that people want to come and work in the UK. I mean, the whole Avengers movie with I can't remember which one was filmed in the UK, not that far actually from where I am. And I remember my son had some work on that film and he met Samuel L. Jackson and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I said, what's he like? He said, as you see him is as he is in real life. He said,
Yeah,
when the set got rained off, he took them to Laserdrome to play games. Yeah, the whole set. And he said he was just great. And he just said he was my son was they were trying out people to do a speaking part and my son said I was so nervous and he said he was just like chill, relax, you're good. She said, Mum, as you see him is as he is. So there's a big appreciation of the fact that people come to the UK as well to work, and we appreciate, that people want to work in the UK and want to do theatre. And it's great that people are travelling outside and realizing that people appreciate their talents elsewhere, not just at home. But yeah,
absolutely. I
she's good.
agree. We're seeing this now, and like I said, this is the beauty that can come from social media, is that you really can connect with people all around the globe, whether you get to physically travel there or not. But you can make genuine connections. You can learn a lot about different cultures, different countries, all of the things. That is the beauty that you're blessed with. It's always sometimes a two-edged sword. So there's beauty that comes, and then sometimes the other stuff, yeah, that's life. But I love that. And yeah, as far as Sam Jackson, one of my favorite actors. And in his words, child, we are sick and tired of these snakes on this YouTube. Anyway, let's get back into a little bit more of the video, y'all, and we will meet y'all in the chat.
You are a joker.
So
I mean, you brought up Sam, and I was like, oh, because I was thinking about, he has so many great roles and stuff. But yeah, that one, I don't know why. That one was the first one that popped up to mind. Snakes on a plane. But child, we're not on a plane. I don't know what we're on, but yeah, we sick of the snakes. But we keep going.
I just kept it moving. But what people like the icon Prince say when they pull the next generation along for wisdom is, where are you investing your money right now? Are you spending it on things? You don't need to worry about what type of house you want to live in right now. Let's talk about how you're going to invest in you. Okay, what does that look like? Who are your inspirations? What is your niche, just from an artistic standpoint?
yes.
And then how are you going to make it happen? Get your together, because you must tour, right?
Yes.
To do this. But there's other ways of business. There are brands, there's brand partnerships, etc. And teams, independent teams that believe in you. But most of all, spirit. Do you love this? Why are you doing this in the first place? What drives you? Is it
Yes.
fame, or is it return of investment immediately? Because that's not going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
just giving you real game and real knowledge on how this thing works, and pulling you to the side to say, hey, I believe in you, but let's take the back door or build the door if the door is closed over here. And you don't need to chase, because what does happen when you're not counting age or year or time and on everyone else's timeline, you begin to operate as that child or kid in high school where everything was just happy go lucky. And now you're making music
Yes.
from a pure place, whether it's for your therapy or for what matters the most, people. And now you're back in that pocket that made you fall in love with music in the first place, and the purpose of it, which is to connect, to bring joy, not numbers, not
Yeah.
sales, not algorithms, not all of the technicalities, which are beautiful, but there's also,
But
there
how
has
did
to
you
be
get there? Because I
just
think that this
time.
is powerful, because I even remember working with Tricky Stewart and we were talking about you, and he was like, everybody always wanted Maya, meaning musically. Like as an artist, you've always been, and you've always had an energy about you where it's like, I'm gonna lean in when I get ready. How does someone have that? Because so many people, want that, want to be what the major labels are putting into, they want to be somebody that is a commercial artist. They want, I mean, you have had all of that, both types of success, but how do you get to the point of being like, this is what's important? Because this is what, people are, that's like what people think, that what's going to validate what they're doing, their time, their money, how do you get there?
You hit it on the right nail. You hit it on the nail. Validation. So we operate from that place in life, regardless of the industry that we sign up for to survive, right? Or to fulfill a dream. And I think when devastation or tragedy strikes a family or an individual, life humbles you really quickly. And then you begin to see through a different lens versus everyone else's lens around you that are defining everything for you, that beauty, the success. It may just be numbers and technicalities versus, does this feel right? Am I changing someone else's life? Are they impacted by my lyrics? Or is this just aesthetics right now and marketability because I'm a teenager, etc.? So you begin to find yourself through devastation and being humble, because when everything is stripped from you, the home, the family that you once had, whether it's the system, the major label system
Yeah.
that, surrounded you with a big hug and investment. And now it's just you with
Yeah.
the world looking at you, but also with expectations and judgment and criticism. You then begin in that very hard place. And sometimes it can get a little dark to redefine everything you thought you were if you got lost in the sauce, and what's important and what you want it to be. And some people are just not afforded that time. So I look at that moment as the greatest blessing for me to get recentered and redefined so that I can move forward from that pure space. And that's success to me, even though, oh, yeah, I've heard all of the things like, oh, you washed up now.
Yeah.
Oh, you fell off and all these things that will happen. But
Yeah.
that's not what I do this for. And it's not something that I ever understood. And that's not why I signed up in the first place. But you can start governing your life and navigating from that space because of all the noise around you that in a standard way is just the way to speak to you. So you
Yeah.
start adopting those ideologies that are false anyways because it's based on man-made stuff, not God-governed stuff.
Yeah, and
So
just the institution. You know, it's like
yeah.
it's like just because somebody didn't get an A in the class, it doesn't mean they're
Mhm.
stupid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like these concepts that are
Yeah.
defined by structures and systems that again, A, may not even align with you, but
Yeah.
absolutely don't validate what is true for you.
Yes. And it can be a very dangerous place
Yeah.
if you don't know yourself or you're not spiritually grounded or don't have that spiritual experience to start tapping in. And luckily I have had to do that and I'm so grateful for it
Yeah. But it
because it
can be lonely
keeps
too. A lot of people don't understand that, I find. Not lonely in a bad way,
mm,
but just sometimes I find with awareness, especially in our field, when you
mhm.
have that awareness where you're not going into the boxes, because I feel this exact same way. You know, in my career, a lot of people have been like, oh, you know, you're supposed to be this type of person and this type of entertainer and this type of talent, and it's not like I'm against that, but that's never. I've always seen myself as a entrepreneur, as a brand. I want to do many things, and there are many moments in my career that I can
Yeah.
name where that devastation has happened where, you know, oh, I'm not the child actor anymore, I'm not on a hit show, you know, you're washed up, or doing social media and people saying, why are you on social media doing this, why are you coming up with these characters and doing all this stuff, girl, you need to go back to the big screen, you know. And finding my voice, what was true
Mhm.
to me and my craft and my art, you know
Yes.
what I'm saying. And it's
Mhm.
just interesting because, you know, I'm always trying to figure out how to express that truth to others that are
Mhm.
finding themselves in this space, in
Mhm.
this world, where they're trying to define what is of value to them, what is true to them. Um, and there's no, there that anchoring is like an interpersonal journey
Yes.
that no one can really give you the answer to,
Mhm.
but it does include some isolation, some where people are not seeing things
Mhm.
from the same vantage point you are, but you got to
Mhm.
be brave, you know.
Absolutely. And you also have to have the bravery to step away and take some time to figure out where you like to govern your life and career from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that can be scary as well because of the
Seriously.
opinions, etc. But one day at a time, like I said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
there's no rush. You must enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really.
All right, y'all. So we're just gonna stop right there and take a quick commentary break. And Imani, I'm gonna let you lead with this one, girl. This was such a powerful segment right here that we heard so far. What are some of your thoughts and feelings and opinions, and what really stuck out to you as far as the conversation that they've had right here?
Well, the first thing that stuck out to me that she was mentored by Prince. I mean, what more could you want? I mean, than to be mentored by a great like Prince. And she also talked about the fact that, you know, like you said, she traveled to Japan when things weren't going well for her in the US. So she saw other doors to creating um, to her journey. She left the US and went to Japan. And she learned because she had to go forward and rather than go to court and do legal battles, she had to learn and empower herself by learning about contracts, publishing, engineering, which empowered her. Uh, for her for the next stage of her journey. And she says something that we've been saying a lot this week and we've been seeing a lot of in the interviews that we've done. She talked about if you chase validation, you get off from what your true purpose is because you're chasing that that you think makes you popular, and not that what you should be doing for yourself and your craft. And she said you have to remember why you started doing what you do in the first place. Get back to basics. Remember, fame is not the only way, the only motivation for doing what you do. And just that validation, this validation and this popularity and this followers stuff can really distort your purpose and redirect you in directions that you may not want to take. She's very grounded. I mean, this is very sage advice for people coming up and trying to understand that even when you think things are going right, something can happen to knock you off the path that you're on. Hers was the fact that she had everybody around her who was rooting for her, who was supporting her, and that changed. And that caused her to have to change direction, to even change countries. And Japan's very interesting because anybody who listens to even dancehall music, they love, they love international music, R&B, reggae, and a lot of dancehall queens have been out of Japan. I mean, the international voted dancehall queens have been Japanese women because they appreciate that the culture, and they love the culture, and they love they love the music. So I thought it was interesting that she went to Japan. And the other thing is, she says, you've got to ignore things like when people say you fell off or you're washed up. Um, all of it is based on numbers, and success isn't defined always by numbers. And her faith, that was the other thing that stood out to me, that her faith was very grounding for her, that made her keep trying, keep following the path that she knew she should, and not allowing, the negativity to stop her from still trying to succeed in what she had wanted to do all her life. So, she's talking about going back to the child, operating as that child with that fell in love with music in the first place, going back to basics, grounding herself in that stuff, doing, remembering why she started to do it in the first place. That's what I took from this clip.
I agree. I agree. We always be hitting the nail on the head with the same standout topics a lot of the time. But yes, I absolutely agree. I do believe, and again, respectfully, I know everybody has their own, religious and spiritual beliefs. But one of the things that's got me through my life and many hard times, and my mother, and it's been passed down for me, is my spiritual solidation and beliefs and foundation. And, it's a lot of times when we experience things in life where it's like you just want to give up and you want to give in. And just having that grounding a lot of times is what keeps you coming back, right? Keeps you motivated still and not giving up and giving in, but also being able to love still, to forgive, to give grace and have understanding, because that's a lot of, whatever, maybe the teachings, but I honestly feel like it is an energy that gets downloaded directly to you. And that is what now I reside off of, not necessarily what someone is telling me to do, but what I feel is right to do based off of what the creator has, wanted for us as a people. So I love that she has that foundation, that grounding. It really helps you navigate through a lot of hard times. And also, like you said, excuse me, as far as like having to go overseas sometime or attempting to go, somewhere different. It's just about pivoting. And it's also about understanding that you go to places where you're welcome. You go to places where they get you. You go to places where they celebrate you. If they don't, then you don't need to be in that space. And sometimes that may be going across seas, to a different country. Sometimes that may be leaving one company or organization and going to another. Sometimes that may be leaving one church and going to another. Whatever it may be, right? You have to follow a path where you feel as though you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are respected, you are appreciated. And I think most people, most of us, desire to have that, even if it's a relationship. Leave one relationship, go to another relationship. You have to have those things. That is a mirror of self-love. Because when you love yourself, you understand that you will not tolerate or allow other people to mistreat you or not have love for you or respect for you or any of those things. So sometimes you got to shake it around. You got to pivot around and move around and not stay in places where people don't accept you or respect you. But yeah, just to cut it short, that's about, all I would say on just that segment. Do you want to play one more segment, or should we just go ahead and tap into Deem Dash speaking on some of that Jay-Z freestyle? What do you think?
Yeah, we can play, because we're going to come back tomorrow and do the rest. There was
We'll finish it up tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff in this interview, and I would advise people to go and support and watch the rest of the interview with Keke Palmer. You know, the thing about it is, it's like, one thing she really does home in on is that setbacks don't always destroy us. They just redirect us sometimes. They really just redirect us. And like you said, she pivoted. She went where she felt welcome, where she felt she could pursue her dream and follow her journey as she saw fit. But yeah, we'll definitely talk more about this tomorrow. There's a lot in this whole interview that people can learn from, anybody of any age, because we're all constantly learning and trying to to understand ourselves and each other.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Go where people love you, be where people love you, accept you, understand you. And you also have to make choices that are good for you. That is part of loving yourself and protecting yourself and being in the best version of yourself. You have to sometimes let people go. You have to sometimes move forward from jobs, relationships, countries, whatever it may be. And because you do that, that means you're betting on you and you're making decisions that it's going to be best for you. And sometimes people won't understand that. But we would encourage everybody to walk that same journey as well. Because you may find you get a lot more love and a lot more support when you stop being in places and spaces where you're not wanted, you're not liked, you're not appreciated, you're not respected, you're not loved, any of those things. And lead with a heart. Lead with a heart. Have another conversation for another day. We won't talk about it now, but we literally have to learn a little bit more about humanity and how to really understand what it means to love one another despite any differences, just for the sole fact that we are human, all of us. We have to have a better, stronger level of humanity. But anyway, y'all, let's take this quick song break. Once we come back from this, we'll be getting into Dame Dash. He had a few things to say in response to Jay-Z's epic diss track or freestyle, whatever it is y'all want to call it. He didn't like some of the things that he heard in those verses about him, and he was very vocal about that. Child, that's the family in the background. Let's take this song break and we'll be right back.
That got people forgetting the fruits of you. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones, then hide their hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then that shock when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's fake, no cap. Y'all addicted to humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful life. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you turn people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Baby, no. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurt and bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can't feel it. Projecting their wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grabs. Yeah, y'all bully for a living. That's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now. Karma got a long memory pad. Lord, cover the wounded, cover the lonely heart, cover the lonely heart, cover the people crying silently in dark rooms. Teach us compassion again. Teach this world mercy again. Because words cut deep, so deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession with tearing strangers apart every day, that ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. More than ever. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss, karma don't miss. And healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Enough is enough. Spread love before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late.
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with us with that song break. And thank you so much for everybody's support. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to Polo Porsche. What's up, Polo? Thanks for coming in and kicking it with us. What's up, V-Love? How you doing, V-Love? Asher, hey, Asher. Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate that. I hope everybody is doing well today. And I hope y'all enjoying the content. And we know we got 1-800 Brick City is in here, been rocking with us for a bit today. And I know a few people stopped in earlier. They might have popped in, pop out. Shout out to Cultivate with Kai. Thank you so much for gracing my channel, Cultivate with Kai. Thanks for coming over. Oh Lord, the dogs is about to fight. And then we know Star was in here earlier. Mama's listening in the background. My baby Carlos is listening in the background. Got Imani here with me. Shout out to Angie Green. Thank you so much for coming in, girl. We appreciate that. And I hope y'all just enjoying the content, really, for real, for real. I hope this can open up for us to have a conversation about stuff, a little something different. But yeah, so for our final topic, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of this conversation that we heard with Dame Dash, okay? Because Dame Dash is firing back at Jay-Z and talking about that Roots Picnic freestyle. So basically, y'all, we are right back to the 1990s with this internal Rockefeller riff. It never seems to end. But it's back in the headlines, and we're gonna talk on that and play a little bit of that to close off our show. So after Jay-Z dropped a surprise acapella freestyle at the Roots picnic, throwing slick shots at his old detractors, Dame Dash went straight to the art of dialogue to fire back. Dame didn't just address the music, he completely crashed out, critiquing Jay-Z's new aesthetic, questioning his current relevance, and taking wild personal digs and claiming the rap titan is secretly hurting financially. It's a messy, fascinating look at hip hop legacy and unresolved history. Child, some people just do not know how to move on. But we cannot be sure. We don't know what people go through and all of those things like that. But a lot of the time I feel like people be carrying around bones, like old bones. If you to move on and your life is doing better, you're in a good place, you got your own company, your own business, and you're successful, why are you still upset about something that happened 20 years ago? But I can't speak for nobody else. Before we get into the video, Imani, did you have any thoughts and feelings on this? Did you see what was going on? We know Dame has always been very tender and upset about his experience with Jay-Z. Tell me a little bit about what you feel.
Um, every Dame interview is like Groundhog Day with a little bit of seasoning. He throws something else into the mix. It's the same story, different day. He done me wrong. He's like, someone who's been left by his girlfriend and he hasn't got over it. I mean, Bones, he's digging up bodies. He really is. Like I said, every interview is the same. I remember the Breakfast Club one where was losing it. Everything is always the same. It's the same rhetoric, different day. Sometimes you just think, get over it, Dame. It's like you've got more than most, and you've had more than most, and it's how you move forward now that you're a man in your 50s. And for God's sake, please, this pause thing, grow up. Please grow up. But that's all I
Yo,
think.
I was just about to say that. One of the main things that be so weird when it comes to Dame Dash for me is like this whole pause thing. Like he literally went out his way to make like a pause button. And I'm like, what do pause really mean? And why do you feel as though you have to pause? Like I'm not getting it. But
Listen,
yeah, like
can I just
go
tell
ahead.
you, even in even if you go in London, in Jamaica, there are many what I would call old older, more mature people who should know better. Like people will not say, like there's a phrase people say, like I'll be there soon. Yeah, in Jamaica they say soon come. They have changed it. They've changed it because of this poor stuff to soon forward instead of soon come, soon forward. Because come, they can't say that. You've got things like people will say they go to extremes, like they won't say I support, for example, there's a football team in the UK called Manchester United. Because they say they can't support man, they say Galchester United. It's just, and then you lose them in a conversation because you don't know what they're talking about because they're replacing so many things because everything has this pause attached to it. So in Jamaica, in the UK, people are still doing this. They're saying pause or they're just changing words. It's ridiculous.
Thank you, Polo. Because Polo, I didn't want to say that, because we in a place and time right now, you must be careful the things you say. But that literally was my take from it. Like, I think that was him trying to come up with another clever way to say literally the same thing. And so, if that is a fact, and that is literally why he says that when he, speak about certain things and certain people, I've always felt that people who say that, that's giving very sus to me. Because it's like, you should not have no need to say that. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Polo? And I got it on the screen, y'all, to comment. Because I don't want to say it. Because y'all will come at me for whatever I say. But all of this pause and we know from the city area up north and stuff like that, like anywhere probably, but I know from the city, like they used to say that all the time, like know this, know that, when they say certain things. And my whole thing is like, you should not have to say that if you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird. That's always been weird to me. But I don't know. I mean, I guess, is that in the same book or same token? Is that what he mean by that? We can't be sure. But it's very weird. I don't know. And
It's
then he over there
weird. It's
Pause
just
from what?
weird. It's weird. And sometimes I lose track of the conversation because they change so many words so that they don't say pause, they just change the words. I'm like,
Right.
what? Why?
Exactly. Like, it makes no sense. Like, and like you said, his grown tender age, every conversation he's has or you see him having, when he get to a certain part, pause, and it just sounds weird. Like bro. Okay, let's just get into some of the video, y'all, and then we'll talk about some more. Let's count how many times he says pause. Let's do that. That'll be a fun game. But let's listen to what he had to say about Jay-Z and count how many times he says pause. All right, y'all, here we go.
Bowling alley and all that. And we were working out that out there. And
Dame, happy to have you back, my man. Happy to have you. What's poppin' with you, man? What you got going on, man?
what's good, Bodie? Well, I'm here at the CEO Country Club in LA. And what I wanted people to logically recognize is the last time you interviewed me, I was in the CEO Country Club in Florida, where there was the family center and the bowling alley and all that. And we were working out that out there. And a year before that, you had interviewed me on my family's ranch. So every time you interview me, I'm in a different building that I've occupied. And I've more pivoted more toward the real estate part of this because what I've noticed is everyone that's had wild success is still working just as hard as they were working when they didn't have wild success. And that means they're broke. When you're older, you don't want to work as hard. It's just a natural thing. Your body hurts, your breath, the tolerance for new people, it all becomes limited. You only come outside when you have to. So everybody seems broke to me. Everyone, like when I look at a Fredo, who's supposed to be a rap legend, but he's working 300 days out the year. That isn't the life that we invested in when we were younger. The life I invested in was sit on the lake when you're 50, be a real estate mogul. And the reason for that is because, like I've been saying, entrepreneurship is sort of a carrot, pause, dangling, and you're on a treadmill because you're always trying to.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all seen it? Y'all seen it? Put your counters on. We gotta count how many times he say pause. And we not even gonna play a lot of it right now because we're gonna have to wrap it up shortly. We're gonna play a little bit of it. But did y'all hear pause number one? Did y'all
Pause
already hear
number one,
pause?
was that for dangling or carrot? I think it was dangling, wasn't it?
Child, like every word you say, that you feel as though may what indicate what you gotta say pause. You sound weird, bro. Like, why do you talk like that? That is so weird. He can't get through one statement, one sentence, one paragraph without having to say pause because it's a word that he feels as though is too heavily tied to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is no issue. But why do you feel that way? If that's not how you live, that's not how you move, that's not what you are, why do you feel to have the need to keep saying that all the time? That's giving sus to me, bro. I'm just saying that's how I look at it. I ain't walking around here saying pause, 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 pause all day. You sound like a broken record. Anyway, y'all, we got number one. Let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Growth. And a lot of these guys, you know, they kind of sell their soul to the devil. And when I say that, meaning they worked for the devil, they let the devil give them money, but they don't think they're going to hell. But what I'm saying is they're in hell right now. I know certain people, I know they don't want to be outside. I know they didn't like talking to people 20 years ago. Why would they like it now? So you're only outside when you're old, when you start getting vintage, when you're cracked. You only put on a stupid suit and put on some stupid ass cheap teeth that are too big for your face if you have to. You only put on a stupid ass wig.
Wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute. So he want to talk about people having too big teeth when, child, we seen you over there on the live and whatever you call it, your fronts or whatever, your denture fell out while you was in mid-speech. Like, bro, that's the type of stuff I don't like. I don't like that. Like, why are you over here trying to drag somebody else for their veneers that you've been waiting on? And I guess you just put a temporary, what is it, grill in your mouth? And you're talking so much trash and talking so fast. We seen you on the lot. They fumbled out your mouth, bro. We seen them. And don't get mad at Jay-Z because he seen it too and he just put it in a bar. You know, I cannot. He just seemed like a hater to me. Do you all feel that energy as well? Like he seemed like
Seriously, seriously. And the other thing I don't like is he's always bringing up or saying people are broke. But
right,
you had to file for bankruptcy. What we doing here? What are we doing here? I mean, it's
right.
ridiculous. It's that which there are so many. I try to sit through his interviews and say, I'm just praying he's going to come with different rhetoric. But it never
It's never
happens.
different. He say the same thing over and over. Every time he sit to talk to somebody, the story is the same. This is what at Aesop, what is it, Aesop fables at this point? Stop telling these same stories over and over. We don't care anymore. Move forward with your life. And then you claim to have like this great life. You got your business, you're independent, you got out of the industry, you had to do your own thing. You got your wife, you got your kids, you got all the things. If you have all of those things, you're happy, you're satisfied. So why do you have to keep telling the same Aesop fable over and over again? The same Dr. Seuss story over and over again. We heard it the first time. We don't need to hear it these many times. Child, I cannot. Anything more for you, Imani, before I hit play again? He's a hater.
No, as Polo says, he's a mega hater. Mega
Mega hater.
hater. It's always,
Yeah.
always negative. Always people are broke. Always, I thought they would have been further. We
He
thought you
said
would have been
that,
further.
and then go ahead and nerd to talk about somebody's teeth and his front joint that fell out on the
And
live.
hair. And hair, which he has none of himself.
But he been bald since he was like 20, right? When he been
So
bald his
what are
whole
we
life.
doing here? He's
And
weird.
I don't know
He's
if that was a
weird to me.
dream or a condition or what, but he ain't never had no hair in his. I've never seen him with no hair on his head. What are you calling people bald for? Like, grow up, bruh. He real immature. I don't like him. And not to say I don't like him, but some of his rhetoric and the things that he be talking, we're about tired of it. Like, we've heard it all. What more are you gonna say? You don't say anything new. You don't say anything different. You keep telling the same story over and over. It's like the never-ending story. Where is the furry beast flying through the sky at this point? This is the never-ending story when it comes to you. Move on with your
But
life.
but one thing I must say, I do love Art of Dialogue and their interviews because they just keep it cool, whatever people are saying. You know, I love the way they interview. And please go over there and support, like, share their stuff. They got some great stuff over there to look at. But this man, I can't. I really try. I start out saying I'm gonna listen to him and I'm not gonna be critical. I'm gonna try and understand. Maybe he's gonna come with a different direction, but never fails to disappoint. I can't believe he brought up hair and teeth.
Two things that he has neither of. Like, sir, can you please have several seats? And then he gonna say on there, because I watched him, right? He did the video after he had to do a cleanup video after that. He was like, so yeah, I've been waiting to get my implants, and this is just like a little frontal joint or whatever, like just trying to play it off. Anybody would play something like that off. Don't get me wrong. Anybody would probably try to come up with something to say. But it's like at this point, bro, it happened. So it's just, what are you so angry about? Like, it happened. It's unfortunate. Nobody want to be in that predicament. Just call it what it is. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no daggone teeth at the top. I'm waiting to get my implants. It's a little frontal. I was talking a little too flat, a little too fast, and a little too slick, and they just slipped up out of there, Ish happens. Like, move on. He gets so upset. It happened. Like, it is what it is. Let's keep going, y'all.
And have some dumbass extensions in your hair if you have to. So I pivoted toward the real estate, and I think it's better to own the building you occupy. And if there's not a trail to that, you're missing the mark. But all the people I know that have money to look at have real estate. The money that keeps them comfortable is real estate. So that was my approach, and I learned that from my neighbors who were billionaires, generational billionaires, but it was all from real estate. And I understood the game, and I applied it, and things worked out. So when you have the equivalent of a hit record or a hit movie and it changes things, that's what imagine the equivalent of a hit real estate deal. It's a different game. So we're opening up here. And what we're doing here, if you're looking, like I said, to the left or whatever, the angles look, pause, there's a very cool
Pause number two. Pause number two. Who's keeping track? I know, Polo, you keep a track. That's number two, y'all. He said pause again. I'm like, what is all this pause?
What was the pause? What was the pause in that?
At this
I
point,
don't even know why he said pause.
That's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, he just say it regularly, like, because it's like so embedded in his brain to say it. Like, what are you pausing for? Like, what did you say that required a pause? I'm not getting it. I'm not. Pause. Like, that's supposed to make you look cool. I cannot.
vintage BMW. That BMW belongs to the person that's running shit here, which is Barter, who has a company, a very successful fashion line called Barriers. And the reason why I consider him successful is because he hasn't taken the devil's dollar. He's been able to scale his business and grow his business, pause, without the devil's dollar, but the devil works for him. and that's the car he drives. And he has another
Pause
one in
number
there,
3.
and he's so cool. He could drive in and park it and just.
He said pause because he said
You said
grow.
all right, y'all. Come on. Okay. We got 3 in the chat. 3 in the chat. We heard it 3 times. And let me tell y'all how long this video been going. 4 minutes and 49 seconds, y'all. In 4 minutes and 49 seconds, he just said pause 3 times.
And you know why he said pause? Because he said grow. I
Okay.
cannot.
I gotta get
I
back to the
cannot
content.
with this man.
Let me
I
not
cannot.
fall out this year. Let me not fall out this year because I will. I will fall out. I will fall out laughing. I can't believe it. I'm trying to really even listen to what he's saying, but really I don't need to because we've heard it all before. But it's the pauses that's funny for me the most. But let's keep going, y'all. Child, I cannot.
Walk right to his atelier, and we're putting all the equipment that we could make all of our stuff on our own, because it doesn't make sense not to when we want to employ Americans and non-Americans. We want to employ people. We want people rich, but you have to be fly when you come in here, because what we're doing here is Barter has his experiential store over there, and a lot of cool things are going on. But he's running what you would consider a LVMH, which is partners with a lot of other brands. So there'll be Givenchy and Louis Vuitton. Almost like how there's Marc Jacobs ran Louis Vuitton, but he had Marc Jacobs. If you understand that language, I'm talking in fashion now. And so and what happens with people that are members, we'll have all of our, because what kills you when you're making a movie is not the shooting, it's the post. It's the mixing, the sound design, the coloring. So we're building all of those things here, and showrooms for the other brands that we work with. And we'll have sets, and there's going to be a screen that we ordered bigger than the one that they do with Star Wars. And this will be the coolest fresh factory you've ever seen without the devil's influence or any of the devil's money. And we will respect the art in here because we are generationally fly niggas. Bart is 30-something. He's like my son's age. But not many dudes is doing what he's doing at that age. And then I was just Paul showing him, because he was doing research for a couple of different lines that we're starting. One being called.
Did he sneak in a pause, y'all? Because I thought I heard him say, I was just pause showing him. Did he say pause again?
Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he
Or
did. I don't
in the
even know what
chat?
he said pause for, but he said
Right.
pause.
You know, but I was just pause showing him. What are we pausing for?
Oh, because he was showing him. He was showing him.
Because he was showing him. Yo, shut up, yo. Something wrong with him for real. Not wrong, but I'm just saying if there's something deeper there, you ain't got to keep saying pause, bro. I don't understand why you're saying pause.
No,
We
a
can't
lot
be
of
sure.
people do it. A lot of people do it, and most of them are old enough to know better. Seriously. A lot
It's
of them,
crazy.
because most of the people that I see doing this, even in the UK, they're mature.
Right.
They're mature people. And I'm not getting it. I was showing him pause. No, he said pause before he said the showing him so that he could say showing him. I mean, please, how can you have a conversation with someone that's saying this all the time?
I can't.
I would keep stopping.
Yeah, like I would think something's wrong. I'm like, are you okay? What do you put? We need to stop right now? What's the matter? What happened? You need to go to the restroom? Like, what's up? Like, what are we pausing for? Let's keep going, y'all.
I'm not even gonna tell you yet. but it was about the heritage of a real fly. And he had the patience for him and I to go through clothes, authentic clothes, really get into the vault for Ralph Lauren and Purple and Rachel Roy and Dame Dash, Pauls. He studied. I watched him look at him and his.
How do you say your name in pause? Like, bro. So what's
At this
happening?
point, I give up counting. At this point, I
Wait a
really
second.
give up counting.
Hold on. I'll just at this point. Hold on. What's going on here? Wait, let me see.
For 3 days, just looking at clothes, research, fabric. The minute I brought some fabric in, it made me some fresh. So that's what's going on at the CEO Country Club. And my intention, because the only way for us to make money as a network is to have a collective of networks. I learned this from licensing my content to Paramount. And what I'm going to do is whoever's a member, I'm going to make them their own channel. They will have their own cooking show, their own news. They'll make their own movies. They'll have their own clothing line, their own jewelry line, their own label. They'll have all of that. Turnkey. Because you can't expect people, they know what to do, but you can't expect people to know how. And when I catch a lick, every good person, every God-fearing individual, anyone that isn't influenced by the devil is welcome to eat with me. Pause. But if you bring evil in here, you're getting fucked up with goodness and God.
That's 6. You're welcome to eat with him. Pause.
Because, sometimes defending your good and godliness comes with violence. So we're not having any of that. Not on no tough shit, but this is what I learned from the minister Farrakhan. And I'm going to talk about something as it relates to the Don. I think it's important because it's on my mind. So recently I had the honor of being invited by the Don. I call Farrakhan the Don. Now, I'm not Muslim, but he is the illest general that I've ever seen. He's developed a nation within a nation, kept everybody well dressed, and he's been to war with people that don't usually let you live to 93. And what he's taught me is how to farm. I got a call from one of my guys that I know from Chicago that's more known as a very heavy street guy. And he said, yo, the minister's looking for you. And then he connected me with Brother Don, who I've known for years because his office was right next to mine that we had like 30 years ago. And he was like, yo, the minister wants to see you. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go out there with my girl because I didn't know what he wanted to see me for. You know what I'm saying? Once you get over there. And he was like, on the farm. I'm like, on the farm? So when I got out there, he was like, you're the only one that's talking about farming. And he taught me about farming and compost and non-GMO seeds, pause. And he had people out there really working. And this is what he's been trying to teach that no one's been listening to. And he told me something in front of Raquel that I'm so proud. One of the proudest moments of my life is he told me that he hasn't seen anybody as brave as me since him in front of my girl. And when he met her, because Raquel's Puerto Rican, he starts talking Puerto Rican to her and he says, make sure you have a baby with her. So whenever I make certain moves, just because if I have access to someone as great as that, as legendary as that, regardless of what his opinions are about politics, and people, I weigh it out. Like, how much good does someone do overall, than how much bad? And the good that he's done for the pride of our culture, for people that are Muslim or not Muslim, I know how he's inspired me, and how much of a loving pause. And I don't like giving they props, but you got to give the Don his props. But how caring he is for us when you're in front.
All right, y'all. So the lucky number is 8. The lucky number is 8. And let me tell you, it only took him about 12 minutes to say pause 8 times. That speaks volumes. But anyway, y'all, we played just a brief part of the intro. I like to do that so that way you can kind of see like how they start off or whatnot, what they're talking about. But I know the meat and potatoes of the conversation that Dame is having is more so when he's addressing and talking about Jay-Z, and we'll get into that. But he done said pause and pause so many times that it's been taking us too long to get to that point. So what we got to do, y'all, is we got to go ahead and end it here. Unfortunately for this live, we had about 3 hours or so. But we have our final episode coming up tomorrow. It's going to be the part 3. And we will finish off with less song breaks and less commentary. The conversation between Maya and Keke Palmer, and we will also finish off a little bit of we'll finish off all the way Ice Cube on Big Boy, and then we'll tap into a little bit more, but only the part where Dame is speaking on the situation with Jay-Z, because that's literally all he ever talked about. And I was just wanting to play that part. The other things he's talking about, if y'all been around the block and you heard some of his interviews and heard him speak before, you've already heard these things. The only thing that's new is him responding to Jay-Z's freestyle, because that didn't just happen. Everything else he's talking about is from the past. It's from the 90s. We don't care. We've already heard about it. It's a broken record. Okay. So tomorrow when we come back, when we do the Dame Dash portion, we were going to skip right ahead just to the part where he's talking about the Jay-Z freestyle. But as far as what we have heard so far, Imani, because unfortunately, outside of the pauses, I'm really not listening to nothing that he's saying, to be quite honest. But do you have any thoughts, feelings, or opinions on this before we wrap it up?
No, I think I'll wrap up what I thought about, because I got more from Maya and Cube and Mike Epps first and foremost. And Maya taught us about you can be hurting but still keep showing up. And Mike Epps taught us that where you start doesn't determine where you finish. And Cube taught us that not every battle deserves your energy. That's some of the stuff I got from those interviews. Dame Dash reminded us that pause is a thing. That's what I got from that 12 minutes, because most of it I've heard before, although he did talk a bit about the Minister Farrakhan, and we'll probably get more of a gist of it tomorrow. But I mean, if in 12 minutes you say pause 8 times, it really, really stops the flow of conversation for me. But I do really love Art of Dialogue. Do go and support the channels where we got this content from. Support them, Big Boy TV, Keke Palmer. She does some great interviews. It's been a real great pleasure being with you guys today. And sometimes there'll be times when things aren't going to plan. We just have to pivot and keep pushing. And sometimes opportunities will disappear. But you know, we just have to keep striving through and have faith. And I've loved being with you. And pause, not really. I've loved being with you all. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Pause.
Josh said pause. Not really. Child, if he say pause one more time, I can't believe he got those many pauses in within like a 10. What would I say? How long it was? 12 hours, 12 minutes or so. I can't believe he say pause that much. I think there's something going on there with that. Something going on. But why are you saying that? That's weird. That's really weird to me. But anyway, to each his own. let's go ahead and wrap up, y'all. You know how we do, okay? So let's step back and look at the full picture of these three massive moments. It all ties back to one single undeniable truth: the power of owning your own narrative. Whether you have to say that with pause or not, it is yours. We started today talking about breaking the addiction to validation and learning to find peace in your own boundaries. And if you look at the culture right now, this is the exact battle being fought on every single level. Look at Ice Cube. 30 years ago, he didn't wait for Hollywood to validate the neighborhood he grew up in. He wrote Friday himself, turned our everyday struggles into generational joy, and now in 2026, he is still holding the keys to his own legacy with the fans. This is institutional independence. And also look at Maya. She walked away from the flashing lights and the major label control, bought her master's, and literally married herself to prove that her worth was never up for public debate. This is a spiritual and professional independence. And even when you look at the tragedy of Dame Dash and Jay-Z, it's a loud reminder that what happens when the architects of legacy can't find peace with how their story ended. It shows us that if you don't heal from the past, you will spend your future begging on old audiences to clap for you again. Whether it is in the corporate boardroom, a recording studio, or a Hollywood set, the ultimate victory is being able to look in the mirror, stand flat-footed in your truth, and know that you were enough all along. Stop asking for permission to exist. Own your own story, protect your peace, and we'll see you on the next stream, y'all. And again, personal message to everyone who joined and rocked with us this entire live. We appreciate you. We want you to keep coming back anytime you feel as though you want to. You're always welcome here. We thank you. We thank you for all of your support. Whether you kick it with us in the chat and laugh with us, or maybe you like to just listen silently from outside of the chat. We appreciate all the engagement and support. And we will be back for more and more content, talking about narratives like this and tying them into our regular everyday lives, y'all. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and take a song break. So that means that I have to pause and end the live right here, y'all. And we will talk to you on the next one. Thank you all so much. We really love you and appreciate you. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day and whatever respectful time zone you in. But yeah, y'all, it's time to pause. Let's go ahead and hit the rest of these comments, y'all. Y'all know per usual, we gonna end it with a bop. Child, might need to write me a song called Pause. Let me know if y'all want me to do that. I can do that. Anyway, talk to y'all in the next live. Bye, everybody. Golden and Imani out.
They thought we wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yo, Iman E, talk your talk. Facts, facts. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. So truth hit harder when the system broke. Talk to 'em. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fear, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Let's go, let's go. See the cameras flash when the hearings start. Whole room shook when they spoke from the heart, trying to cut me off. Now I claim my time. Every interruption just exposed the crime. History long, but the memory longer. Pressure make diamonds, pressure make stronger. You can twist headlines, spin every thread. Can't rewrite facts when the truth been said. Everybody gangster behind that desk. To the numbers show the public been stressed. Families hurting while they paint pretty pictures. Meanwhile, pockets getting thin about a minute. Facts. Tell them stop capping quick gas like games. People buy eggs with a pocket full of change. You can fake statistics on a PowerPoint slide, but the checkout line don't never lie. Who gon' speak? We will. Who gon' fight? All night. Who gon' stand when they kill our rights? We will. We will. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. Truth hit harder when the system broke. Let's ride. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fair, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now. Cause I brought the receipts. Courtrooms echo with the streets hit louder. Every bad ruling made the movement prouder. Take one vote, then we register 10. Built from the block, let the people win. Can't silence voices born from struggle. Built these dreams through pain and hustle. Grandma marched so I could speak. Now I'm 10 toes down every single week. Every chapter got another revelation. People waking up across the nation. Ain't no crime without confrontation. Truth is the spark for transformation. Wake up, ain't about left, ain't about right. It's about wrong hiding under bright lights. Question everything, don't push your names. Power belongs to the people, not fame. If they tell you hush, if they tell you wait, move now. If they tell you quit, if they shut one door, if they shut one door, build more doors. Look. Look, I don't need permission. I was born with a mission. Every generation got a choice. I'm choosing resistance. Feel like a weapon, mic like a torch. Truth keep burning till it like the whole war. Kingdoms fall when the people unite. Darkness disappear when they turn on the light. Ain't chasing black, I'm chasing change. Every verse another broken chain. Break it, break it, break it. Every sister standing up. Every brother finding peace. Every time watching us. Learning courage, don't decrease it, multiplies. I can't move his seats. I ain't come to play. Truth don't fall when the headlines fade. Built for the pressure, built for the fight. We keep pushing to the future, look bright. Let's go. Hands to the sky, voices repeat. Justice ain't giving, you earn every seat. From the block to the ballot, from the mic to the street. And even to the people, complete the mission. The mission facts, the movement, stand up, no fear. We brought the receipts. Truth. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden, city lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. By golden, too much grace for the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden in the big. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through the smoke. Still still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pen cinematic. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like that. They still don't know her like that. Spend so much time looking for love in strangers. city cried, when the tears dried, we still got